President Trump said talks on ending the war with Iran are progressing, but so far no indications of a deal. A major sticking point, says ABC's Ian Pannell in Tel Aviv, is the U.S. demand that Iran turn over all of its enriched uranium.
Remember that one of the main justifications for military action in the first place was to prevent Iran from having a nuclear weapon.
The deal being discussed between the U.S. and Iran fails to achieve any of Israel's goals for the war, says Israel's opposition leader today. Gasoline prices are at record highs in more than a dozen states, says ABC's Elizabeth Schulze.
Right now, that national average still about 50 cents away from its all-time high of $5 a gallon.
Some of the tens of thousands evacuated in Orange County, California, might go home soon. Fire officials say a crew has managed to lower the risk of a major explosion at a damaged toxic chemical tank at an aircraft plant in Garden Grove. This is ABC News. Tourists and locals are sweating in Paris. Another second day of 91-degree high, record-breaking unusually warm May. Many people sunbathing or sheltering in the shade. Speaking out about artificial intelligence from a spiritual and moral point of view, ABC's Tom Soufi-Burridge.
A warning to us all about some of the disruptive effects of AI. The Pope making his declaration at the Vatican this morning in his first papal encyclical, a type of open letter. Leo setting out his desire to protect human dignity and guard against fake info and explicit content in an age when technology threatens to replace so many jobs and other roles in society. Pope Leo writing, quote, "We are truly experiencing an eclipse of the sense of what it means to be human," and warning of, quote, "the unbridled promotion and implementation of technology at the expense of human dignity."
Pope Leo also today making a historic apology for the Vatican's role in legitimizing slavery and for having failed to condemn it for centuries, calling it a wound in Christian memory. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
A teenager shot and killed in Parkland, and police need your help. More on that straight ahead, but first your KIRO News Radio traffic. Well, we're seeing the very beginnings of a long afternoon of backups. Nothing too heavy yet. In Everett, South 5, we are slow between 529 and the Snohomish River coming out of Marysville. Over in Sultan, as you make your way into Sultan, westbound 2, stop and go between Gold Bar through downtown Sultan. Starting in Clay Elum, westbound 90 is really heavy. We've got scattered backups from there all the way up to Ketchless Lake just before the summit. So Ellensburg to North Bend right now, already a 45-minute delay. The express toll lanes, that is, on 405 and 167 are free all day. And on the water, the Clinton Ferry Terminal reporting a 2-hour wait for drivers. And we've got a 1-hour wait for drivers at the Kingston Ferry Terminal. The support brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Nate Connors. The Memorial Day travel rush is still on, and SeaTac Airport estimates 170,000 passengers today. KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin is at SeaTac Airport.
Airport officials say the peak travel times are 4 to 9 a.m., 2 to 5 p.m., and 9 to 11 p.m. Those are going to see the most volume. We found one passenger who says that he's coming home tomorrow, and avoiding the crowds today was just purely by luck.
Funny, when I booked this flight and planned this trip, I didn't realize it was Memorial Day already. I'm like, wow, so it kind of worked out.
Now, to save time, you can use the SEA Spot Saver if there's any spots left. Either go online or on the Fly SEA app to reserve a time to go through TSA without waiting.
We have more travel information to help you plan your trip home today at mynorthwest.com. It shows peak hours to avoid and ferry and airport updates throughout the afternoon. Investigators say a 16-year-old was gunned down last night as his girlfriend looked on. This happened in Parkland, and detectives need your help solving the crime. KIRO News Radio's John Repp has the story.
This took place along Sheridan Avenue South just after 7 p.m. last night.
Multiple calls were received reporting that a male had been shot and was lying in the roadway. Deputies responded to the scene and immediately began life-saving efforts.
Pierce County Sheriff's Deputy Carly Capetto says the teenager died at the scene. Witnesses say the 16-year-old was walking with his girlfriend when a car pulled up, robbed him, and then shot him before speeding away. She's asking anyone with tips to contact them. John Repp, KIRO News Radio.
A warning to dog owners on the Olympic Peninsula. Keep your pets at home if they're experiencing bouts of coughing or if their bark sounds a little off. They could be suffering from an outbreak of coughing dog disease. According to the Peninsula Daily News, veterinarians at Port Angeles and Sequim say they've had 4 cases so far, and all those dogs had recently visited local dog parks or boarding boarding facilities. The illness is very contagious. Dog owners should look for coughing, sneezing, and changes in activity levels. A student at Central Washington University in Ellensburg is getting some pretty big recognition in international film circles. Sunnyside native Gerdil Darty has turned a childhood passion for comedy skits into filmmaking talent. TV station KIMA reports his projects have reached international film festivals. One recent project debuted in an Academy Awards qualifying festival of short films in Atlanta, and his most recent film about a mailman whose life is transformed when he delivers a young boy's letter addressed to God. That's being considered for a showing at the Sundance Film Festival. And now check out your Memorial Day forecast. Scattered rain this afternoon with a high near 60. Tomorrow starts off with showers but turns partly sunny by the afternoon with a high around 63. And then sunny and low 70s Wednesday and Thursday. We've had a few sprinkles, 58 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
You're listening to the best of the Jake and Spike Show on 97.3 KIRO News Radio.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome to the show. Jake Skorheim sitting right here next to Spike O'Neill.
Hey, brother.
Man, we got a good show every day.
It is.
People think I'm just saying that, but we wouldn't come up. We'd literally just be sitting at our desks slugs if we weren't excited to be in here and doing the show.
Well, we have a set amount of time. We have a limited amount of opportunity to bring stories to the city.
Yeah.
And we take a great painstaking care to decide what matters and what's not worth your time as an audience.
We don't want to waste your time, so let's get right to it. First things first, this is... How many days are we away from the World Cup? Is it June 11th? Is that when it kicks off? So we're almost exactly a month. Is that right? June 11th? Does that sound right?
World Cup or Seattle? World Cup Seattle. Two different numbers.
World Cup Seattle. Is that July?
It's June. No, it's June. I think you're about a month. You're about a month out.
About a month. All right. World Cup Seattle. World Cup. We're about a month out. And you guys might remember, we talked about this probably about a month ago. And I saw an article this morning that confirmed some kind of troubling news that I overheard from an insider who was telling me, here was the setup. I'll tell you, I'll give you this inside information. I know a guy, I'm not going to say his name because I don't know if he does not want me sharing the information, I'm sure. But he's an insider in the hotel industry. And at the time, this is about a month ago, at the time, he was saying, yeah, these numbers, these hotel booking numbers, they're not materializing like these hotels want them to, because everybody was told, like, hey, there's going to be this massive rush of people who are going to descend upon Seattle and any World Cup town. I think there's 11 World Cup host cities this year. And they're going to descend on these towns, and it means big business for local hotels, local restaurants, because you're going to have this huge influx of tourists.
Well, they told us an estimated 750,000 visitors.
Yes.
And we're talking about extra ferries or a full fleet of ferries.
That's right.
Extra staff. Extra ferry crews just standing by.
Just ready to go.
Just in case.
Something they've never accomplished.
For us.
Taxpayers.
No.
For tourists, yes.
But for World Cup fans, they're rolling out the red carpets. They put up those informational kiosks downtown.
There's a big
to help these
World
massive
Cup
visitors.
down there. Yeah.
It's everywhere.
So I also want to say, I love World Cup. I get excited about it. It's every 4 years. It's a big event. It's fun. I'm a big fan, and I hope that it's a smashing success.
It's looking more and more like I might be able to enjoy it in person.
You might be able to.
I might be able to actually get a hotel room.
All right, so here was my insider telling me 2 months out that hotel bookings, he said at the time, he goes, yeah, they're like 60% less than what everybody was anticipating. And the way that these hotels make their money, it's funny because we always talk about like surge pricing being a bad thing, but we don't have a problem with it with things like hotels.
When it's somebody else that we're dinging. When it's a visitor to the city.
When it's not us.
Let's tack those guys.
So what hotels were doing is hotels were saying like, hey, during this peak times, and they do this in summertime. Like I don't have any problems with businesses doing this. It makes sense.
I can get a beach rental in February for next to nothing.
100%.
Next to nothing.
That's exactly it. So what hotels were doing is they say we're gonna get our prices up really high because there's going to be this massive demand, 750,000 people coming into town. They got to stay somewhere, and then we're also not just going to allow people to book for the night. we want to make sure that if they're going to be here, we're going to do like blocking off for 3 days, like minimum rental of 3 days for these hotel rooms. And then you also have Airbnb stepping in and these other rental properties saying, hey, guys, we need more houses available. We want to encourage you guys. We'll even give you bonus credits.
Sign on bonuses to become a new Airbnb or VRBO host household.
Because the demand is going to be so huge that we need the space. So that was 2 months out when we were talking about that on the show.
And the first date, I did some quick checking. 19th of June is our first scheduled match here in Seattle.
June 19th, okay.
And we're looking at 44 days, roughly 44 days if you count today.
Sure.
To the first match away.
44 days. So we're getting close.
Days. We get a month and a half.
A little over a month.
Yeah.
And so when my buddy was telling me about this, I was thinking to myself, man, that's really interesting that you're seeing lack of bookings. And I started thinking about that number, that 750,000 number.
Right.
Which, again, I never even questioned because obviously we assume that the people telling us that a bunch of people are coming and they're going to spend $1 billion, they said. Everybody wants to believe that. And then I did some number crunching, and I was like, well, how big is Lumen Field? Because there's only 6 games. And again, it won't be called Lumen Field. They're going to call it Seattle Stadium.
For naming rights, FIFA has the exclusive rights of any venue, at least as far as advertising and naming.
They don't want to share the name Lumen with the world.
Lumen didn't pay for World Cup coverage.
There you go. So they're going to change the name to Seattle just for temporarily. Mm-hmm. So I'm doing some number crunching. Lumen Field holds about 68,000, but you can get that number up to depending on the way that you want to organize seats and then down on the field. Because obviously, soccer pitch, it's a smaller thing.
Those super wealthy luxury boxes. Let's get closer
right
to
on
the
the
action.
Grass.
Right.
They can get that number up to about 72,000, according to their website. Mm-hmm. And so I was crunching those numbers, and I was like, well, 6 matches at 72,000 max. That's like 430,000.
Yeah.
And that number is a lot smaller than the 750 that they're telling us. That's like 300,000 less.
We noticed that right out of the gate. Something just didn't add up.
So what are those 300,000 extra people supposed to be doing? And I was like, that can kind of account for some of those numbers that we're like seeing the lack of bookings. If you have almost half not showing up because they can't get tickets.
Well, that's the thing. Are they talking about, groups coming that don't have guaranteed tickets or coming on the chance of getting a ticket or is being
just to be part of the atmosphere,
being in the vibe of a World Cup match alone?
It's like a parent taking their daughter to Taylor Swift,
standing outside,
just outside hanging out.
And there's going to be massive view parties, scheduled events, coordinated with the games themselves, around that. So I can understand some puffery of the number, some higher expectations of the numbers.
320,000 extra people.
That's almost doubling.
Almost doubling. So then I see this Forbes article. I'm hoping that that's just like, all right, 2 months out. People haven't booked yet. They wait till the last minute to get the deals, whatever. And then I see this Forbes article this morning. Listen to this. And this is not, I'm hoping that this is wrong, but it sounds pretty legit.
Forbes is a pretty reputable.
Yeah. Most people see Forbes and go, yeah, I'll believe that. Yeah. So Forbes talked to the American Hotel and Lodging Association, the AHLA, and they said that about 80% of hoteliers, so hotels in the U.S., in the 11 World Cup host cities, they're saying that the bookings are tracking way below original forecasts. And in some cities, and they name Seattle on one of these lists, they say that it's looking like a, quote, non-event. Meaning that they're looking at these bookings, they're saying they're not even, and in some cases, they're not even as much as they would be normally in a summertime when people might just be enjoying tourist season. And the reason that could be is because everybody gets scared away thinking, well, the prices are going to be so high. There's going to be all these tourists for World Cup. We don't want to go visit a World Cup city if we're not going to be in the World Cup, like seeing a match. And then it's just this bad snowball effect. And now people are trying to figure out, like, are these numbers legit? Are deals to be had? So I started looking at the Airbnb numbers. And Airbnb, Wall Street Journal just had this big piece on Airbnb who details a woman who kind of bought into the fervor about booking her house out for World Cup.
Becoming a host home.
A host home. Like we said, they're offering incentives. And so she said, hey, you know what? I'm going to make my home the most appealing home I can. So I'm going to do, and I wouldn't have recommended this, but she did it, thinking she'd get the money back. She invested $60,000. I know, it's a lot of money.
Did she build a accessory dwelling unit?
That's what it seems
I didn't have a guest room, so I built one.
Here's what she did.
With a restroom.
She put in she probably saw this as an opportunity. I don't fault her. She saw this as an opportunity. I want to update my house. I want to get it paid for. If I can rent it out for higher, then it's going to justify the costs.
They were talking about maybe as much as $5,000, $7,000, $10,000 a week.
100%.
For these rental properties in Seattle.
In her case, she thought she was going to be able to get, according to Airbnb, they told her that she could get somewhere around $4,500 a week for her place. So what she did was she put in new floors. She relit the rooms. She replaced the vanities. These are all big projects. She put in new countertops, faucets, and she's watching as all of these homes around her, monitoring for how their prices are going to go. And so she gets her number. And she's like, great, I'm going to make a ton of money.
Or she's going to get an updated home, and guests are going to pay for it.
Yeah, 100%. It's like having a rental house.
Yeah.
Someone else is paying your mortgage. The problem is she has no bookings. So she has invested like $60,000 and nobody's booked her house. And now she's looking around like, where are all these bookings that I was promised? And it leads me to ask, like, where was the information not coming in where the city or somebody made the estimation, $750,000? Where did that come from? Like, where did they get that number? We know it's not from seats. So where did they get the 750 number that then justifies all of the fervor, all of the excitement, all of the investment that local businesses, tax dollars have gone into to upgrade things? If that doesn't materialize, and if this Forbes article is correct, like, what's the city going to do? What do you do in a situation like that? You just eat the cost?
Well, the city, this is the kind of political questions we ask quite often. The city knows that the World Cup is coming. They're booked for 6 games. They want to invest. They want to invest in the infrastructure of the city, much like this homeowner did, but from a citywide perspective. And they've got to justify the amount of money they want to invest in the city.
Yeah.
So they give us numbers. And these numbers didn't just come out of thin air. There's a World Cup Seattle Planning Commission that has experts on tourism in Seattle, about World Cup play itself, visitors to the World Cup play, using historical numbers and
supposedly experts.
That's the thing. Are they puffing the numbers up to justify what the city needed to spend or wanted to spend?
That's what I'm wondering as I'm looking at these numbers, because you think about the thing that I would compare it to, and I wrote an article about this today. Please share it with your friends. You can text soccer to 888-973-5476. Soccer, 888-973-5476. Do you ever, whenever they do Olympics, like when a host city gets the Olympics, you bid for the Olympics, you make big presentations. It's a really big deal. There's committees who work for years and years and years leading up to an Olympic Games.
Oh, yeah, they make these decisions, you're right, decade ahead of time.
Los Angeles right now is going to host is it the 28 Olympics? When's the next Olympics in Los Angeles? It's soon. I think 28. 28 Olympics.
Is it 28? I thought it was 26. Or not 26, I'm sorry. 28, yeah, right.
28.
We're in 26.
So whatever the next Olympics is. Yeah, whatever the next
the LA Olympics.
LA Olympics. There's a huge bunch of infrastructure dollars that have to go into that. In fact, it becomes a local story where locals are like, listen, you're taxing us. A lot of it's federal. You do get federal dollars too, which obviously, that's great. But a lot of those local dollars are tax dollars that are justified because they say, we're going to get so many people coming in. It's going to be great for the local economy. And then often what you see happen is these host cities lose money because the infrastructure, especially around the Olympics, which is even bigger than the World Cup.
Yeah.
But the infrastructure that's required by the International Olympic Committee for a host city to come up with is just really, really pricey and expensive. Most people don't have the number of venues required for the specific sports that need to happen simultaneously.
Especially with Olympics because of the variety of elements involved in Olympic competition.
Especially Winter Olympics.
Right.
But yeah.
And cities, now, at least as far as Olympic projections go, they're now leaning toward pre-existing venues.
Sure.
Giving those cities a more... Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
you look
refurbish.
You look at the ghost cities of Olympics past and some of the infrastructure money that was spent on bobsled tracks overgrown with and whatnots, empty stadiums, all the things that countries and cities do.
Do you remember the Bird's Nest in Beijing?
Yes.
It was this beautiful, giant, gorgeous stadium. And wasn't that where, what's his face? Swimming guy.
Phelps.
Phelps won all his medals.
Yeah.
He had an unbelievable, Olympics. Just a couple of years after that, because you can't support that infrastructure. Now, China, they don't care as much.
People aren't coming for other. Because often think, we'll get bobsled tourism all the time.
Yeah,
no, you
forever.
Won't. No, you won't.
But you won't. And then they end up not being able to use those facilities, and then it's really expensive to upkeep those things, so they just shut them down, and then they just kind of waste away. Yeah. It's amazing how fast nature reclaims things. It's really bizarre. You can go down a deep rabbit hole on YouTube looking at old Olympic venues.
So a couple great questions in this story is the lower expectations now from original projections, is that people worried about not being able to afford to go? You see the price of tickets going through the roof with these dynamic pricing.
Yeah, it's a good question.
When you're thinking about taking your family to World Cup competition, the once in a lifetime, it's coming to America. It's coming to the West Coast of America, coming to Canada and Mexico. I'm going to take my family, but tickets are what, $3,000 a piece? Tickets are
and hotels. Hotel prices are like way up.
And is it going to be a $10,000, $15,000 investment to take my family to see a World Cup game?
I don't see how a lot of people. Most people can't justify that.
Most people can't. Are those projections or what make these undermining the projections?
I think what happened here. Yeah, I think what happened is this. And again, this is all just still out in the ether. We don't know if this is going to come to fruition, and we hope it doesn't.
You would think 44 days out, they'd have some numbers.
Yeah, they'd have some numbers. They'd have some solid bookings. If I was somebody who was like stone cold determined to be at the World Cup and I didn't live locally where I can just drive down to a game, I would book ahead of time with my friends, and we'd make sure we had everything locked up.
Sure.
Based on the stories they've been telling us, which is that you better get in now because it's going to be impossible. I would guess that 750 number, I don't know where they got that number from, but I think that number was a mistake. Just based on the tickets alone that it will be available to see a match.
Yeah.
I think the 750 number is a massive mistake. And then that just has a cascading effect where the next thing is, okay, well, if it's 750, look, how many hotel rooms do we have available any given night in Seattle? And I don't know that number, but 750,000 people added to the city of Seattle, that fills up those rooms pretty fast.
Yeah, all of them. Yeah.
All of them.
Yep.
And then every hotel goes, well, hey, great, we're going to be competing. Less of something means everything could get a little pricier, and that's good for business.
Yeah.
Let's just raise those costs ahead of time. And then people like you and I, who might have somebody who's thinking about coming in from out of town, who wants to stay at a hotel, we go, hey, you know what? These hotel prices are crazy. Don't book the hotel. Just stay with us. So that's possible.
That's
that could be
possible
happening.
too. You're right. Absorbing guests to the city. Yeah.
Or people who are jumping into the
Airbnb, the VRBO,
and saying like, hey, I'm going to open my house up and get ready and be able to host people.
A little bit of each one of those elements are triggering into these lowered projected numbers.
But the problem is these. Here's a Reddit, Airbnb Reddit from somebody who says that they're a host. This is in Atlanta.
Okay.
I'm a host in the ATL, and my properties are in the 1% of listings in the area. I assume that just means they're really nice. 1% of listings.
Yeah, up 1%ers.
Like upper crust. Yeah, very desirable. I was invited.
Superhost, they call those sometimes.
Superhost, yeah. They said they were invited by Airbnb to be a host at the World Cup. They used all the forecasting and everything to figure out how much their rates were going to be, and nada. They're not getting anybody who's booking their place. It's just another story like Wall Street Journal with that lady they're like, where are the people? And I'm sitting here going like, there's a lot of restaurants that have made investments in seating areas, in updating
their facilities. You bet.
Get people
bring an extra staff in for that 6 weeks where the.
It's the kind of thing you hope it's not true. Like we're seeing it we're seeing it coming. We're like, I hope that's not the case, but
isn't it always somewhere between the pie in the sky, 75,000, full ferry capacity expectations, and what actually happens is you're not going to see like a third empty stadiums for World Cup play. You're not going to see that.
Well, the local, I would imagine, if they actually don't have tickets sold, then locals will
show
up.
Last minute deals will be available.
Good deal.
And maybe that's the case. Maybe that they will all sell up with last minute deals. People are smart to wait and wait it out and not buy into the hype.
Maybe that's what's happening. Anyway, time will tell. I hope they're very successful because the World Cup's fun, and I hope they're making a ton of money. All the people working, all the businesses, I hope they're making a ton of money. Stick around. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back with more of the best of the Jake and Spike Show, KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with more.
24% of businesses are now thinking about leaving Washington.
Traffic.
We are definitely seeing some slowing through the S-curves.
Conversation.
We build it, we produce it, we charge for it.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! Are you kidding me?
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
With summer right around the corner, Valentine Roofing's schedule is filling up fast. Jake Skorheim here. I want to give you 3 reasons why you should pick up the phone and call Valentine today. Number one, there's still time to beat the summer rush and get your roof started in as little as 3 weeks. Number two, when the nice weather hits, you'll be enjoying your backyard instead of worrying about your roof. And three, with the increased cost of crude oil, material prices going up, shipping prices going up, lock in your price now before the market absorbs all those price increases. Call 206 Roofing today, and I guarantee there'll be no surprises, just a clear estimate you can trust. And once you choose Valentine Roofing, here's what you can expect. Seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and extra mile service. That's the Valentine experience and the reason that they were awarded the 2025 Gold for Best Roofing Company by the Seattle Times Best in the Pacific Northwest Awards. Call 206 Roofing today. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-979-3535. That's 800-979-3535. 800-979-3535.
John is a national champion ping pong player.
My greatest claim to fame is an actor who portrayed the Chinese national champion that played Forrest Gump. I played him in a national tournament and I actually beat him.
Competing at that level takes precision and healthy shoulders. But after years of wear and tear, he was dealing with a serious shoulder injury.
I had a slap tear. Success rate for the surgery was only about 15%.
Instead of surgery, he chose to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy, the most experience in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures.
The next day, I was pretty much 100%. I was pain-free. I had problems with my shoulder for 20 or 30 years.
And have you been able to compete again?
I won a national title 6 months after the procedure. My shoulder's like I'm an 18-year-old.
So whether it's a hip like I had, a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
You've worked hard, saved diligently, and now retirement is on the horizon. But will your nest egg go the distance? With rising cost and uncertain markets, there's no time for oversimplified plans. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Don't settle for a partial plan. Get the real deal by requesting your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. But if you're looking for a truly golden view, look no further than the seats on the first baseline, a.k.a. Trident Town. Post up behind the Mariners dugout, and you get a great view of Logan Gilbert, Brian Wu, and our entire rotation at work.
Swing and a miss! Fastball upstairs, blew it by in strike three.
Not to mention the best view of the best home run celebration in baseball. When the Trident goes up, you know a party's going down.
It is gone! Julio!
Mariners baseball. Trident's up.
Don't miss two great interleague matchups at T-Mobile Park. The next Mariners homestand starts this Friday with a 3-game set against Corbin Carroll and the D-backs. Then, the action continues as Juan Soto and the Mets come to town Monday, June 1st through Wednesday, June 3rd. Get your tickets today at mariners.com.
Hartley here from Wilcox Family Farms. You've heard the saying, you are what you eat. Eggs are an incredible source of protein and omega-3s. But have you thought about what the hens eat to make healthier eggs? At Wilcox Farms, our hens enjoy organic pastures and a diet of organic grains and flaxseed, creating vibrant yolks, richer flavor, and real nutrition for your family. Next time you're at the store, choose Wilcox Eggs. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
The Harnish Auto Family Super Sale is on now. Don't miss out on 0 down, no payments all summer, and exclusive deals through May 31st. Visit them in Puyallup and Everett. Harnish Auto Family. People matter.
Offers available OAC on select models. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Are you looking for the best deal on a new home? Discover the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. With new home communities from Lacey to Stanwood, ranging from the low 500s to the high 1 millions. D.R. Horton has the right home at the best value for you. Your new home is within reach, so what are you waiting for? Learn more about the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. Visit drhorton.com and schedule a tour today. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Bail has been set at $5,000 for suspended Longview School District Superintendent Carrie Cloninger. The Seattle Times reports she appeared in court Friday after being arrested on suspicion of witness tampering, failure to report, and obstructing a law enforcement officer. The allegations stem from the Mark Morris High School sexual abuse investigation, where prosecutors say Cloninger directed staff to keep concerns, quote-unquote, in-house and withheld information from police for more than a month. A judge also issued a no-contact order barring her from students and listed witnesses. Cloninger's next court hearing is set for June 10th. A message to the city of Seattle from people who live around Aurora Avenue North: do something about the nonstop gunfire and violence endangering their families. KIRO News Radio's John Rep has the latest.
This sound is what neighbors say happens on a near weekly basis. Most recently, the weekend shootout near the Burgermaster at 98th, with 40 shell casings recovered.
Shots were fired. I mean, umpteen. I can't even tell you how many.
Rudy Pantoja recalling that to KIRO 7. City residents have now installed several large steel planters to block off side streets. Mayor Katie Wilson says the city is increasing emphasis patrols and deploying its gun violence reduction unit. John Rep, KIRO News Radio.
Family and friends of Alex Keene, the 34-year-old man who died on a hike on Mount Pew, gathered Sunday evening for a skydive in his honor. KIRO 7 TV's Jake Chapman reports.
It's going to be sad, but also going to be really beautiful being able to give back and remember him on his birthday the way and show what he meant for us.
As they remember a man who knew how to live life at its fullest.
Go outdoors, be out there, do things that make you feel afraid, and always look up.
Besides creating a GoFundMe to help with funeral costs, Alex's family is encouraging the public to donate to Snohomia's search and rescue crews for bringing him back home.
A 1,500-acre wildfire that broke out near the Tri-Cities Saturday forced some people to evacuate their homes. The state's fire marshal activated 2 wildland strike teams to try to contain the fire after flames erupted Saturday afternoon. The quickly spreading wildfire triggered level 1, 2, and 3 evacuations for homes near Kennewick, with level 3 meaning residents need to leave immediately. So far, authorities don't know what caused the fire. Now, check out your KIRO News Radio traffic, brought to you by Seattle Sports. Our Memorial Day return home already starting to fill in. Westbound 2 heading into Sultan. You've got a solid 10-mile backup between Index and Sultan now. Out toward Clay Elum, westbound 90 has a 10-mile bumper-to-bumper backup through Clay Elum. And then once you get through this, it's scattered backups up to Ketchulus Lake. Ellensburg to North Bend has almost a 1-hour delay already, taking 2 hours and 10 minutes. We've got a new crash in Tukwila. It's eastbound 518 at 51st, just before the freeway in your left lane. And North 5 starting to fill in between Lacey and DuPont on the water. The Clinton Ferry Terminal has a 2-hour wait for drivers. We have a 1-hour wait for drivers at the Kingston Terminal. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial on 97.3 HD2. All right, mostly cloudy, scattered showers today, 60 for the high. Tuesday starts off with showers, turning partly sunny at 63. Cloudy, breezy conditions and 59 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. We like to talk movies. Movies are fun. People like movies. They don't like going and seeing them as much anymore, but I think that's a mistake. I think they should see them.
The experience of a theater can't be matched at home. Not even close.
Well, the problem is it kind of is close. It's kind of close. It's fun to see them everywhere. I don't need to see every movie in the movie theater, but there are certain movies I want to see in the movie theater.
That's fair.
Christopher Nolan movies, yes.
Yeah. I could watch
Alexander Payne movies. Happily watch those at home.
I could watch any, I'm not going to say that. Your Wuthering Heights.
Yeah.
Your Sense and Sensibilities.
Yes.
I can catch you at home.
In fact, I don't want people seeing me watching those in public. No, just kidding. No, some of those are very good. In fact, there's a new Wuthering Heights on Netflix that's getting a lot of attention.
It's steamy.
Yeah.
Steamy and dreamy. Supposed to be watching that in privacy.
You just put good-looking people and stuff, and people go and watch it. All right. Legally Blonde. Do you remember this movie with, what's her face?
Reese Witherspoon.
Reese Witherspoon.
Of course.
That's it. Yes. She plays...
with a pretty good sequel, Red, White, and Blonde.
I never saw the sequel.
Where she went into politics.
Same lady?
After Gretchen, yes.
Reese Witherspoon?
Yes.
Jennifer Coolidge is in that movie, too.
Brilliant.
Hilarious.
Brilliant.
Yeah, Jennifer
That pretty
Coolidge
much launched her, didn't it? Was Legally Blonde? No, she was Stifler's mom.
What's that?
She was Stifler's mom.
Yeah, she was Stifler's mom, and yes, that was definitely one of her earlier, more famous roles. And then also, right around that same time, also the Christopher Guest movies, like Best in Show.
Oh,
remember her Best in Show?
She was part of the Best in Show. That's right.
Yeah, she's the best.
Fantastic.
Anyway, we're not talking about Jennifer Coolidge.
Legally Blonde's got a prequel.
A prequel is coming out. Let's play a little bit of the trailer, and then we can discuss if this was necessary. It's set in Seattle, so the movie takes place in Seattle.
Right. Although filmed where?
Yeah, filmed in Vancouver.
Right.
BC.
Thank you.
All right, here you go.
We have something important we want to talk to you about.
It's about your dad.
I've had to look for other work. I found a place.
What's it called?
Seattle's Elite.
Because the other doctor's from Seattle?
Because the practice is in Seattle.
And you'll commute to Seattle? No, we're moving to Seattle. How long will that be?
A couple of years.
That's my whole life. Hey. Can't even say it. Seattle. Feeling very blonde. There's another one. Mom, her roots. You hope it's a choice. Hey, you got this. Bruiser, wish me luck.
Bruiser, that dog's still alive? How old is that dog supposed to be?
It's a prequel. It's a pup.
But isn't she she goes to law school and all that? Like,
Yeah.
How long does Chihuahuas live?
Chihuahua age about 8, 9, 10, 12 years.
Yeah,
12
maybe
years, we're going?
15 if
15?
you're,
I didn't know
pampering
that.
it the way Elle
They
does.
don't pull a lot of sleds. They're
right.
not sled dogs by
They're
nature.
Not like a beast of burden dog.
Yeah, they run
Not
around in a
tiny
purse.
You just have to fight their cough, and then you're golden.
thing. That's true. They do get sick a lot. So she and her family are moving to Seattle. Her dad's a doctor. They moved to Seattle in the middle of the 1990s, which is like grunge era.
Oh, yeah, you bet. Height.
But she's not a rock and roller. So this is like...
She's not even emo.
Is this the controversy in the film?
This is
like she's a fish out of water.
Exactly. You know the formula. You're a writer. You know how this
I do
works.
know the formula. So she's a fish out of water. She goes to Seattle, yada, yada, yada. Hilarity ensues, and she probably meets somebody she never thought she'd fall in love with, but doesn't make it into the main movie, which we know about, so that we know it's going to fall apart.
He's in an up-and-coming rock band.
I bet you he
Mom,
also
Dad,
rides a skateboard.
This is Eddie. He's going hungry.
That would be funny if she dated what would have been a
How
super
could they?
famous
How
person.
could they not have a young Cornell in her life?
Can we
or a young
springboard
daughter?
from because I don't want to talk about Legally
No,
Blonde
me
anymore.
neither.
As much as I care about it, and I'm never going to see it again.
Well, you asked. This should not have been made.
Yeah.
Should
this have been made?
No, this didn't need to be made.
Let's do because we were talking about gladiators earlier. You and I are going to be. You and I are going to be the emperor.
We're gonna be the emperor.
Thumbs up, thumbs down on this movie.
Okay.
We haven't seen it.
If you aren't watching
and
at
does
home,
it
you'll
live?
never know.
Does this movie survive? Both 2 thumbs down.
See ya. And
Okay.
it may be for some folks.
Sure.
It's not that it shouldn't have been made. It just didn't need to.
There's like a 40-ish lady white wine crowd, which is probably going to enjoy this movie at home.
Yes.
Wearing sweats.
If they enjoy the sequel, Red, White, and Blonde, they'll enjoy the prequel.
Yeah, I think they'll like this. There's a good chance that they watch this and drink wine.
They should have called it We're Moving to L. A Life in L.
Oh.
Seattle. A Life in L.
What is your opinion on prequels? We've sequels is a whole different thing because you're continuing the story, but prequels is like you said before the break. You thought they were just cash grabs.
Oftentimes they are, and they're very dangerous because any story worth a prequel is dealing with an iconic cinema character.
Yes.
Even Elle Woods from Legally Blonde is an iconic cinematic character.
That was I will credit where it's due. That movie when it came out, very good. I think it probably stands up.
Yep. Great
Still
fish
good.
out of water. Great story. Great acting. Great supporting
Great
cast.
title.
Yes.
Great script. Great cast. Good execution.
Right.
Well done.
A job well done. Exactly.
But when you get into a situation where you have no connection to the old movie as far as characters, like actors who were in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
That's
hard to do.
That's where it falls apart for me. A lot of sequels do this. They're made with an A-cast, like Dumb and Dumber, great example.
Right.
There was a prequel to Dumb and Dumber called Dumb and Dumberer.
Dumberer, yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's like young Harry and Lloyd.
Right.
Totally different actors, totally uninterested.
Right.
I'm not interested in that.
It's harder to make a prequel than a sequel.
I agree with that.
Because you're dealing with that iconic character, that beloved character.
Yes. Before we get into prequels, what's your favorite sequel of all time? Do you have a favorite sequel of all time?
Without a question. Easy for me. But I don't know if it qualifies. I guess it was. Godfather 2.
Godfather 2. Everybody says it because it's true. It's a very good movie.
Well, it's a great movie because it lives in the it's both a sequel and a prequel. That's why.
There's time shifting.
There's time shifting. And you get who is Don Corleone?
Yep.
How did he become Don Corleone?
You see you see simultaneously the advancement of Michael.
Right.
And you also see how
young Vito Corleone
came into being.
Yes.
So
and
you answer a lot of
It
questions.
brings De Niro into the universe.
Brings De Niro into the franchise.
Exactly.
It's very well done.
Very well done.
It's probably, it's just, Godfather was such a good original film. Now, I know it's based on a book. Is it Mario Puzo?
Mario Puzo, yeah.
Who not only did he write the book, but he then also wrote with Coppola.
Yeah.
They wrote the screenplay together. Did you ever see, and I believe it was I think it's on Paramount. I could be wrong about that, but it's the limited series of how they made The Godfather.
No.
It's phenomenal. Miles Teller's in it, bunch of other guys.
Okay.
It's really, really good. It's about the producer who kind of was the guy who, at least in the depiction, I've heard censored that it wasn't quite as much like his story is like the primary one they're focusing on, but you have all these other characters surrounding him. You have your Coppolas, you have your Puzos, all those guys, as they're trying to figure out how to make the movie of The Godfather based on this phenomenally popular book at the time, The Godfather.
Yeah. What's your favorite prequel?
Can we come back to this?
Sure. Yeah,
I know we didn't plan on doing this for 2 segments, but
there's still some great ones out there, and there's some absolute bad ideas.
I think you and I want to see if you and I have the same prequel.
Okay.
And maybe we'll count it off, and we'll do it when we come back. Sure. We'll see if we have the same one.
Okay.
All right, we'll be right back.
We'll be right back with more of the best of the Jake and Spike Show, KIRO News Radio.
Honoring the ones who made the ultimate sacrifice. This Memorial Day, while celebrating with friends and loved ones, take a few moments to remember and reflect that we remain the home of the free because of the brave. Reverently celebrating Memorial Day with you. We are KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Memorial Day weekend is a time to honor and remember those who serve for the United States Armed Forces. This holiday weekend is also the unofficial start to summer and brings people outside for boating, barbecues, and get-togethers. My friend Jonathan from DUI Heroes says DUI arrests increase around this weekend, so be safe. If you or someone you know is pulled over for DUI around the holiday weekend, contact DUI Heroes immediately. Your DUI defense specialist, 1-800-DUI-HERO, DUIHeroes.com.
It started as a puddle.
Where?
In the shower.
Uh-oh.
Then the kitchen sink.
Started backing up?
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Clogged up.
Right. No problem.
Beg your pardon?
There's no clog we can't clear.
You're Dan.
From Apollo Plumbing.
This is going to get pricey.
How about $83?
To clear my drain?
Apollo Plumbing clears main drains every day.
For $83?
$83 or it's free.
What's the catch?
No catch. We'll even do a camera inspection.
Why's that?
It's the best way to find the cause of your clog.
And it's included?
No extra charge. Truth is, we hate clogs.
I don't love them.
Seen them all.
Ew.
I promise, there's no clog Apollo can't clear.
Guaranteed.
83 or free.
Goodbye, slow drains.
All it takes is an accessible clean out.
And Apollo gets my drains draining again.
You call, we come, it's fixed.
My heroes.
Just doing our job.
Thank you, Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Tune in to elevate your wealth. If you're 5 to 10 years from retirement, you do not have the time to deal with a market downturn.
With Mark Stimson and Casey Elkins.
It's important that you know what the rules are, because if you don't, you can make some tremendous decisions that could adversely affect you, and you may not be able to go back and fix them.
Tune in to Elevate Your Wealth, Saturdays at 11 a.m., right here on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Oh, those spring showers after a wet winter, they can cause real trouble for groundwater, right? When the soil around your home finally becomes saturated this time of year, water can start making its way into your crawl space, and you don't even know it. It's Mike Salkare, and groundwater in crawl spaces is even more common than you think. It needs to be addressed before it causes structural damage, or even worse, toxic mold in your home. If you're worried that groundwater is making its way into your crawl space, you know what to do. Call Crawl Pros and get that free corner-to-corner inspection, just like they did at my house. They'll come in, they'll climb into that crawl space, because Crawl Pros goes where you don't want to. And if they do find water, they'll install a groundwater drainage system and a sump pump. They'll reroute all that water outside of your home's footprint where it belongs. So don't take the risk. Do what I did. Call Crawl Pros. Have them come out for a free corner-to-corner inspection of your crawl space. They'll even check your attic at the same time. If you're worried anything's going on in your crawl space or attic, critters, damaged insulation, or water intrusion, call Crawl Pros at crawlpros.com.
Hey, Dad, have you heard the news from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services?
No, I haven't.
Eggs have climbed higher than ever on the new food pyramid, and that's great news for anyone who loves starting the day strong.
Well, at Wilcox Family Farms, we make it easy with our ready-to-eat hard-boiled eggs. They're delicious, protein-packed snack you can grab on the go, now ranked higher than ever.
Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
For the longest time, it was hard for me to even get out of the house. It took me a bit to understand what was going on, but eventually I learned I had anxiety. Now I'm getting help for it and feeling so much better. Sure, some days are better than others, but the whole thing about getting out of the house, that's not really an issue anymore.
Mental health care works when you make the call. Visit mentalhealthcareworks.org. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it today at carsforkids.org. Your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call 1-877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today. That's Cars with a K.
This baseball season, Home Comfort Alliance is changing the game. John Curley here. Get the price of a new heating and AC system in just 60 seconds on your phone with no pressure, no waiting. Just a few questions and you get a winning personalized price. That's a home run. And if your system is over 12 years old, it could be costing you up to 20% more or could soon fail. Score a personalized price for a new system in 60 seconds at HomeComfortAlliance.com. Call the comfort people. Home Comfort Alliance.
All right, welcome back to the show. We're getting a lot of text messages. I'm going to read a few of these, and then we're going to get into Spike and my best prequel. I think there's a chance that you and I, of all the movies in the world, I think there's a chance that you and I have the same one. We did not, and this is not fake. We didn't do this for the audience. No. We oftentimes have the same opinion on movies, so we'll test this out in just a second. But here's a few of the audience suggestions. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Is that a prequel?
It's I looked into it. It came out after the original Raiders of the Lost Ark, but it was set a year prior. Apparently, he'd already taken on the adventure in Temple of Doom, and from a chronological
so that
thing.
Was like
next,
back.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
The next year he went after the Raiders of the Lost Ark. Me neither. Didn't. Why? What's
that is interesting. Okay,
you got to be thread the needle to call that a prequel.
I don't like. That's my least favorite of all the Indiana Jones, including Kingdom of Crystal Skull or the Crystal Skull.
Yeah, Temple or whatever. Yeah,
whatever it is, whatever that stupid one was. I like Temple of Doom even less than that stupid one. The most recent one actually is very good. The fifth one, where he's
the time thing,
where he's an old man.
Yeah.
Yes, it's. James Mangold is a brilliant director, and he directed that movie. It's phenomenal. I think he did that one. Here's another one. The Roadrunner and Aliens are both prequels. Is that true?
Aliens is a prequel, yeah.
Is Aliens a prequel or a sequel? I thought Aliens was a sequel.
Now I'm getting confused. Prequel means before.
Prequel is before, folks. Before.
That's the word pre.
Empire Strikes Back. Folks, before. So the original movie. So this would have to be, for instance, Phantom Menace. Technically, a prequel.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Well, episode 1.
Episode 1. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Because A New Hope, our Star Wars is episode 4.
Episode 4. All three of those not as good as the original.
Exactly. Yeah. Those were all three of those prequels.
Which is the dangers.
Jar Jar Binks, baby Anakin's
Jar Jar Binks.
Horrible.
So, okay.
That was just to sell lunchboxes, I swear to you.
To annoy my children, sometimes I will do Jar Jar Binks. I will talk to them like Jar Jar Binks.
Don't do it here. We could lose our job.
Why?
Isn't it racial?
Jar Jar Binks?
Isn't it?
No, he's an alien.
Wasn't he Jamaican?
Well, he's a Jamaican alien.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that
No.
Wasn't that a
No, he's a stupid character, but there's nothing racial about it.
Cool.
He's a Gungan.
He's a Gungan. Okay.
He's a Gungan.
He's a Ganjan? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Okay.
No, he's a Gungan.
Okay.
All right, let's take a Back to the Future, they said, is also a prequel. Is Back to the Future?
That's a stretch.
That's a tricky gray area.
That's a stretch. Yeah, because it doesn't everything in the Back to the Future.
Back to the Future 2 is actually both a sequel and a prequel.
Much like Godfather 2. God, I'm so glad it's Friday.
All right, so on the count of three, why don't we both say what our favorite prequel movie is?
Okay.
And it's a 1, 2, 3, and then we say
did we take Godfather 2 off the table?
Yeah.
Because it's unfair. It's got feet and
we've already said that.
Yeah. Good. Okay, just making sure.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, The
Monsters
Hobbit.
U. Monsters University, man.
Monsters University.
Yes.
That wasn't even on
Mike
my radar.
and Sully when they meet in college.
It's very good.
It's great.
It's very good.
It's great.
Yeah, it's a very good movie.
But The Hobbit technically was written before The Lord of the Rings.
Correct.
But it is a prequel to
But
The Lord of the Rings.
in the movie universe, it is a prequel.
Movies were made right
to The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I'll give you that one.
Here's the thing about
The Hobbit movie's a great piece of work.
The reason that so these two films are very similar. The reason that Monsters University and The Hobbit both work is because you have the same characters.
Yes.
Played by the same actors.
Yes.
In those films.
Yeah. All those X-Men prequels, which were kind of cool.
Yeah.
But you don't have Patrick Stewart and Ian McClellan.
No.
And I loved Fassbender, was great, and
Fassbender's fantastic.
Fantastic as a young as a young Magneto. Fantastic.
He might be.
It's a great sequel.
He might be better.
Excuse me. It's a great prequel.
Ian McKellen's just great in everything.
It was great.
The Hobbit is just a beautiful movie, and I love it, and I could watch it 1,000,000 times, and I have. And there's one song in that movie that's so haunting and so beautiful in The Hobbit.
Okay.
And I want to play it for you and see if this just moves you a little bit. We can go out on this, actually, as we fade off into our third hour. This is The Misty Mountains Cold.
Dungeons deep and caverns old. Yeah, we must make way ere break of day to seek our long forgotten gold. Yeah.
Far over.
Yeah, buddy.
The misty mountains cold.
This is so magical, the movie. When they're all sitting there, he's just watching
it.
Yes. You have Thorin just standing on the
caverns old.
He just wants his kingdom back.
We must away. A break of day.
So between this and Monsters,
to find our long.
I don't want to make you choose. They're both very good.
Forgotten gold.
All right, we got a lot more coming up.
Honorable mention, Revenge of the Sith.
Sure.
Right? Yeah. Cash was like,
Cash is young. I'll give it to him.
He put his flag in the ground. I respect that.
I agree with The Hobbit too, though.
Hobbit's very good.
What'd you think of Solo?
Tom, you gotta go.
Screw it. What'd you think? Oh, sorry. What'd you think of Solo?
Not good.
Okay.
Not good.
Moving on.
All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around.
We'll be right back with more of the best of the Jake and Spike Show, KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with more.
24% of businesses are now thinking about leaving Washington.
Traffic.
We are definitely seeing some slowing through the S-curves.
Conversation.
We build it, we produce it, we charge for it.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! Are you kidding me?
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Earn an accredited MBA in as few as 16 months for about $21K at University of Maryland Global Campus. Explore 10 specializations, including finance, HR, cyber technology, and more. Plus, showcase the value of your MBA with a comprehensive learner record and digitally demonstrate in-demand skills and credentials to employers. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by SHAP.
From the people who brought you It's the Dog Park comes.
It's a hot spot on your dog's leg. But the internet says you can treat it at home. You're not sure though, 'cause now it's oozing.
Protect your dog from injury and illness with Progressive Pet Insurance.
Ooh, he's licking it. super gross, dude.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Coverage subject to policy terms.
I just can't dig it.
Dig what?
My water line.
Needs replacing?
And I don't want digging in my yard.
And maybe your driveway.
Can't dig it.
Don't dig it.
But how do you?
Apollo Plumbing replaces water lines without digging up your yard.
You're Dan.
From the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Apollo Plumbing.
Our trenchless technology replaces water and sewer lines.
Without digging up my yard?
2 little holes is all it takes.
Sounds better.
Faster, too.
And my yard?
Like we were never there.
Sounds spendy.
Not so much.
Oh?
In the end, about the same as that messy digging you don't want.
How do you figure?
Think about that landscaping you love.
Yeah?
Trenchless means you won't be paying to replace it.
Or my driveway.
We run everything underground.
Trenchless?
Do them all the time.
How about...
Easy payments?
Yeah.
With approved credit. Sure thing.
When can you get started?
We are the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Love that.
Apollo Plumbing, trenchless waterline replacement.
Sewer lines, too.
Can you dig that?
That I can.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? During the Xfinity Summer Savings Event, now through June 15th, new customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi, just $50 a month for 5 years. And get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, add one line of Xfinity Mobile Select and you can save an average of $60 a month over Verizon and AT&T. You can even try it free for a year. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities during the Xfinity Summer Savings Event. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Savings based on 1 gig internet and 1 mobile select line compared to similar Verizon and AT&T plans over 5 years. After 12 months, regular rates apply to mobile select. Xfinity internet required. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable.
Join the conversation and text your favorite show on the KIRO News Radio text line at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The future of home comfort is here. The new Carrier Infinity system delivers premium home heating and cooling with innovative filtration for healthy air and over-the-air software updates that help optimize performance. Carrier, for the world we share.
Save up to $2,100 in Carrier Cool Cash rebates when you purchase a premium heating or cooling system, while also taking advantage of a special financing offer of 0% APR for 60 months. For details, visit CarrierNorthwest.com. That's CarrierNorthwest.com.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
G and Ursula on KIRO News Radio.
You're not going to be able to stop what's going to happen.
I hope he's successful.
9 to noon, streaming live on your smart speaker.
Summer's supposed to be fun. When the kids are home all day, the groceries, they add up fast. G. Scott here with a quick heads up from Safeway. There's a program called Sunbucks that gives qualifying families $120 per child for summer groceries. Some families are signed up automatically and will get a card in the mail. Others need to apply. Take a minute to check. It could really help put food on the table for your family. Head to freesummermeals.org to find out more. That's freesummermeals.org.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Severson. A record number of people are on the roads and in the air, says ABC's Gio Benitez at New Jersey's Newark Airport.
According to AAA, the top 5 domestic destinations this weekend, Orlando, Seattle, New York, Vegas, and Miami. So if you're headed to any of those airports in those cities, leave plenty of time to get through security just in case.
Gas Buddy reports gasoline prices are at record highs in over a dozen states. Right now in most of the U.S., it's the busiest time to drive. Oil prices have dropped after President Trump said talks on ending the war with Iran are progressing, but so far no indications of being close to a deal. Some of the tens of thousands evacuated in Orange County, California might go home soon. Fire officials say a crew has lowered the risk of a major explosion at a damaged toxic chemical tank at an aircraft plant in Garden Grove. Top prosecutor in Garden Grove has launched a criminal investigation into the tank incident at GKN Aerospace. This is ABC News. Wall Street stock markets were closed for Memorial Day. Markets were closed in South Korea and Hong Kong for Buddha's birthday. A major first.
The country's first union of Uber and Lyft drivers has officially been certified in Massachusetts. Governor Maura Healey.
That means better pay, better wages for them, for their families, so it's a really good thing.
The app drivers union says it can now represent the 70,000 rideshare drivers in that state who Uber and Lyft classify as independent contractors, not employees. But despite the distinction, union officials say they plan to push for better wages and increased job security. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum says she has no issue with her country hosting Iran's World Cup team after its training base was moved from the U.S. to Mexico for the summer soccer competition. The matches will be in the U.S., but the Iranian team will be based in Tijuana, Mexico, just south of San Diego, says Iran's Soccer Federation. Chuck Severson, ABC News.
A CEO accused of stealing tens of millions of dollars. More on that straight ahead. But first, your KIRO News Radio traffic brought to you by Global Credit Union. As we monitor the Memorial Day return home, here's the latest. We've got a crash in Marysville, South 5, just past 88th. It's blocking your left lane. You're already bumper to 136. Arlington to Everett has about a 10-minute delay. Westbound 2, we've got a solid 10-mile backup between Index and Sultan. Out toward Clay Elum, westbound 90, heavy volumes already between Clay Elum and Easton, about 15 miles here. And then from there, it's scattered backups up to Ketchless Lake. Ellensburg to North Bend, now 2-hour and 25-minute commute, over an hour delay. Eastbound 518 in Tukwila at 51st. We're still on scene of a crash in your left lane, and that's got you backed up to the Airport Expressway. And in the Thurston, Pierce counties, North 5 scattered backups between Olympia and DuPont. Olympia to Tacoma is a 45-minute commute. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic.
Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. A healthcare exec in Wenatchee is accused of embezzling close to $24 million from a company that managed Medicaid payments for nearly a dozen clinics. 55-year-old Patrick Bucknam is the former CEO at Community Clinic Network. According to the U.S. Attorney's Office, he stole over $30 million from the firm to carry out risky stock investments, but then only returned $7 million back into the company's accounts. Authorities say he also used embezzled cash to buy a speedboat, a Tesla, an SUV, and a $1.2 million worth of gold coins. He's scheduled for arraignment in Spokane June 24th. A friend and mentor of a murdered UW student says the news of her death still hasn't fully sunk in. A suspect is in custody after Juniper Blessing was killed in the laundry room of her apartment complex near campus earlier this month. Her voice teacher, Savannah Rutherford, tells KIRO 7 News she misses the hours she spent singing with the talented musician.
Probably as many times as we spent the hour singing our faces off, I think there were as many times that we sat and talked.
The pair had been working on a song for Blessing to perform at a recital in June. Her friend and teacher now says she'll likely sing it at the recital in her memory. The Pierce County Sheriff's Office is investigating the fatal shooting of a 16-year-old boy in Parkland Sunday evening. Deputies were called just after 7 p.m. to Sheridan Avenue South, where they found the teen lying in the roadway with gunshot wounds. Deputy Carly Capetto.
Preliminary information indicates the victim was walking with his girlfriend when a vehicle approached and called him over. Suspects in the vehicle robbed the victim of some jewelry, shot him, and then fled the scene.
Detectives are asking anyone with information or surveillance video to come forward as the search for the suspects continue. And now check out your KIRO News Radio weather. 60 and scattered showers today. Tomorrow turns partly sunny, 63, and then sunny and low 70s Wednesday and Thursday before more rain moves in Friday. Cloudy, breezy, 59 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
You're listening to the best of the Jake and Spike Show on 97.3 KIRO News Radio.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 1 hour down, 2 hours to go. Did it rain a lot for you this morning? It's pouring.
I was crawling in this morning in my car as we did that, 6 mile an hour creep down I-5.
So creepy.
You couldn't see the city from the Ship Canal Bridge.
Oh, because
literally you could not see the entirety of the skyline was gone into a white, wet mist.
Do you ever watch, have you ever seen Drive to Survive on Netflix?
Yeah.
Okay, with the F1 cars?
Yeah, at your suggestion, yeah.
It's so good. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, very much.
It's very good. It's very compelling. They do a good job of...
Drama's great, though. The action's incredible.
The drama's great.
Great.
The driving is amazing.
Out of this world.
When you think about the speeds.
And none of them are on marijuana, ironically enough.
None of them. And we are going to talk about weed in just a second. But
sorry, I was on the brain this morning. Metaphorically.
It's good. We'll transition to that in just 1 second. But I was thinking about that very thing this morning because you were talking about just a second ago. You said the Ship Canal and the rain, couldn't see the city.
Gone.
And every once in a while on that show, they'll be racing and wherever they're racing, and then they go, oh, we got to switch over to rain tires because the rain's coming. But they're going like 240 miles an hour, whatever the speeds are.
Right.
Really fast.
That is mind blowing.
I felt the exact same thing. I'm sitting in the car today, and I'm in traffic, and the rain's coming down. I can barely see the car in front of me, but we're only going like 2 miles an hour, so it wasn't quite the same stakes. And I remember thinking to myself, like, if I was going 100 times this speed,
that's
what they would be experiencing.
100 times more dangerous.
And I felt a little bit like they probably do. And I was like, man, that's fast. And that's what's going through my head when I'm sitting there in that dumb traffic.
I've ridden motorcycles in all weather. You have to in this state.
Motorcycling
in all weather. I mean,
is that the scariest thing ever?
It is the most horrifying experience when you are literally watching. All you can see is the taillight of the vehicle in front of you. And on motorcycles, the rule of thumb is to give yourself an out, an escape route, a cushion, a car length or more.
You can go off the road.
But all riders, in Washington view that space I've given myself. That's the space for them to cut into. That's just the nature of car.
I didn't realize that's what you're doing. But that's like a motorcycle. And trucks do that too.
It's funny. They give themselves
very different sized vehicles.
It takes longer for a truck to stop, so they built in.
They'll let you know when you jump in front of them too.
They will.
They go, honk.
Yeah, and they should. But I don't know what it is about drivers that feel like that's my in, there's my opening.
Yeah.
Boom, that's what I do.
They just don't get it. They don't get all the motorcycle stuff.
You ride like you're invisible. Pretend no one can see you. Don't assume anybody can see you.
That's good advice.
Rule number one on
motorcycle. Good advice. Yeah. Can I ask you a question about motorcycles?
Yeah.
And we'll get to weed in just a second. Linwood, it's officially ending a 10-year ban on cannabis retail shops. But is it a good idea? We'll talk about that. Motorcyclists, I see them when they pass.
Mm-hmm.
They give a little wave,
little acknowledgement.
Yeah,
little wave.
Do you guys like doing that, or does it feel obligate? Like you got to do it?
There's a practical reason for it.
What's the practical reason?
You noticed it, right?
Yeah.
That's the practical reason. We acknowledge each other. We give ourselves little, just because your hand's on your bars, right?
Yeah.
You just take your not your throttle hand, your left hand, you put a hand out, you acknowledge the other biker.
Yeah.
The people driving in cars around you, any movement, any deviation from the set norm of you on your bike, you see a hand come out, you've noticed that guy.
Uh-huh.
It's a practical reason to be
but it's not
to other riders. I mean, there's a communal.
It is an acknowledgement.
Yeah, there's a communal thing with other riders. Yeah, you acknowledge, hey, man, good on you. Keep safe. Keep the rubber side down, buddy.
You guys ever think about getting close and just high-fiving?
No.
Just one step further, it'd look pretty cool.
It'd look pretty cool, but then you ever put your hand out and hit something when you're driving?
I have.
It hurts.
Yeah.
A lot. Now imagine that pole was coming at you at 40 miles an hour.
Oh, that's
not
true.
just a pole.
Yeah.
You
and then
knock
your
hand off.
Might smash into each other.
I saw a state trooper clip a car once. We're far afield. We were on a charity motorcycle ride. We're talking like 700 bikes, 700 bikes, long. The long columns you see.
Oh yeah,
right. And
so nobody's worried about being not seen.
Right. Well,
700 bikes.
What you do have though are police escorts.
Yep.
That block off exit ramps or intersections as these long rides come through. Oftentimes they're charity events or they're memorial events. Cops, then there are a set number of cops. The cops that are setting that roadblock at an intersection or on-ramp, when the column passes, that cop then has to pass the entire column so they can get in front of it again and stop the next intersection. You probably got usually 4.
Sure.
I saw a cop.
It's like when a president comes to town.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So I saw an officer passing the entirety of a 700 bike column on a 2-lane road over, I think it was Route 18, and a cop clipped a car coming the other way.
No.
Because the cop is riding on the double yellow line.
Sure.
Passing our column of bikes in the southbound lane.
That's illegal.
No, when you're an officer, you're on duty to be on that yellow line with his lights going.
Oh, okay, so he's trying to pass.
He's passing the entirety of the column so he can get in front of it and stop.
Yeah, but for insurance purposes.
They carry coverage for that. But
yeah, I'm just saying, like when the State Farm calls up the local police insurance coverage, they go like, hey, you were over the yellow line.
Well, no. I imagine it's accepted practice. That's a great question. I think it's accepted practice of doing business.
Sure.
He wasn't over the yellow line.
I'm not saying he shouldn't do it.
Yeah, but
I'm saying I from an insurance standpoint.
Point being, a car coming the way his front bumper clipped this officer's foot.
Ooh.
Yeah, and literally ripped the boot, the sole of his boot off.
Did he have his foot?
He had his foot. He didn't even drop the bike. He wobbled, and it happened maybe 4 or 5 bikes ahead of me as he passed.
His foot off.
Ripped the boot. Ripped the sole off his boot. The bike wobbled once, and he straightened it out and moved through the column. And moved through the column to the curb where he pulled over, and a couple bikers stopped with him to make sure he was okay.
Give him a little nod?
Give him a little hand wave.
A hand wave?
I couldn't believe the skill involved at watching this guy clip a car.
It would just like he would look down. You go like, oh, thank God, I still got my foot.
Right.
Then you feel pretty sweet because you've navigated that.
Yep, you've mastered the moment, buddy.
We'll get to weed in just a second, but I was driving in Seattle once. I was about to get on I-5, and I'm coming up a hill, and I'm behind at a light. I'm behind a guy on a scooter, like a real dorky scooter.
Yeah.
And I see
Vespa types, yeah,
like a Vespa type,
but less cool, if that's even possible.
Not even less. I mean, it's just like fully uncool.
Okay.
And I see though, in the next street up, coming at us is a motorcyclist who looked cool.
Real one.
A real
a
bike. A biker.
Yeah.
And I'm now doing the math in my head because I've noticed that they acknowledge each other. And I'm wondering to myself, I was like, does this dork think that guy's going to acknowledge him?
Yeah.
And is he going to try to acknowledge the biker and try to get something back?
Throw a hand out there. Yeah.
And so I'm waiting, and now I'm kind of having fun waiting to watch.
Yeah.
And I'm following the
Social
scooter.
experiment. Yeah,
and he goes, and he finally gets up to speed. It's very slow because he's on a scooter.
Sure.
And he reaches out and he does the thing.
Yeah.
Motorcyclist just drives right by.
Didn't acknowledge him?
No, of course. And he shouldn't have.
Well, no, you should have. Because it's about safety.
It's about 2 wheels.
A guy on 2 wheels out there, he's as exposed to danger as anybody else is.
I don't know.
Oftentimes more because, when we ride, I wear leathers.
Sure.
I don't care what the weather is. You dress for the slide, not for the ride. That's the axiom.
It was raining today. I put on leathers this morning because it was raining. I don't drive a motorcycle, but I just in case.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Scooter riders often have shorts on, flip-flops. I mean, dressing for skin graft.
I don't want to be me. It's a dork mobile.
It is.
You know what I mean? It's dorky.
It's
not as cool as a motorcycle. And when you try to acknowledge,
if you're in Italy, it's fine. Ciao. That's cool.
I was
That's
waiting. Next time I see, you're right. That would be great. Next time I see this guy, though, I'm wondering if he's going to have one of those little braids on the side of his scooter.
From the handlebars?
From the handlebars?
Yeah.
What is that for?
You really want to know?
Yeah. What is it?
It's called a lead. People use them on horses. They have like a quick release, one thumb thing, and it clips off.
Yeah.
As opposed to like a carabiner would be.
Yeah.
Right?
Is it like for turning? So you know how hard you can turn?
No. Most guys have a steel nut tied into the end of it.
Oh, it's for defense. It's so you can hit a car.
If a car gets too close, if a car tries to turn and take your lane. I have over the years.
I did not know that's what that was.
I have over the years put my foot out and put my foot on a car door as a car who didn't see me just came into my lane right where I was, where you literally put your foot out and you both move over together. And this guy now looks over at you and he sees you have your foot on his door.
But you're on a motorcycle.
I'm on a motorcycle.
So what are you going to do to a car?
No, at that point, you just keep it from getting close to your bike.
Oh, gotcha.
That was to me building a barrier.
I gotcha.
But that little whip is for cracking a windshield.
So that's so you can hit a windshield.
Or a car hood.
I thought it was so that they understood how far they could turn.
It's like for putting. It's a turn indicator.
And when it hits the ground, they know, I can't turn that far.
No, that's when,
so bring it up.
When the sparks come off of your foot pegs.
Yeah.
That's when you know you've leaned far enough.
This is what somebody who rode scooters in college thinks.
Okay.
I didn't know. And I rode scooters in college, so I can call them dorks.
That's cool. No,
it is very
I
dorky.
hear.
Motorcycles are cool, though. But be
careful
careful
out there. You know what is cool?
Not weed.
Legal weed's cool in Linwood.
In Linwood,
Linwood's cool with legal weed.
Explain this to me. So in Washington State, it's been legal in Washington State, but in Linwood, they said we're not allowing it in the city limits.
They thought it was a dangerous proposition to allow it inside incorporated city of Linwood city limits. For the last 10 years, they've had a ban on that.
But now they've just lost that fight.
Well, they've surrendered to the fact that every peripheral community, all the little surrounding hub areas around the city proper of Linwood, they've been selling weed.
Okay.
It's literally right across the street from Linwood city limits, there are recreational marijuana shops. And the city council finally said, look, this is a legal product. Why are we costing our city municipal tax dollars?
Yeah, they're missing
revenue.
Yeah.
People they're just crossing the street or going down the block to buy weed from any of the other neighborhoods.
This is the owner of a dispensary? Is that what they're called? Or just a shop?
It's just a recreational shop.
Just a shop.
Dispensary, I think, was when it was more medical.
Gotcha. You had to have like a special pass
medical
or something.
license, yeah.
Talking about this, I don't know what they're talking about here. Let's hear it.
It took a while to get open, but we're finally excited to get in here, get some local customers.
Very excited. Linwood City Council had doubts about it.
I think it's unwise to allow cannabis dispensaries to be directly next to residential neighborhoods.
Mayor George Hurst wants this. He's pushed this since he was on the city council.
This is legal business. Why are we stopping it?
What's your take on it? Should they have it? Should they not? And here's another question. Since how long has weed been legal in Washington?
Going on 12, 15 years?
More than a decade
14
now.
years, yeah.
We've now seen, and we do stories all the time about how weed these days is way more potent than it was.
Yeah.
When it was illegal.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's what is it? It used to be a very small percentage. Now it's 10 times the potency.
The potency, yeah. The scientific element of weed growing and weed production, farming. And even manufacturing of products made from cannabis has gotten so much more.
It doesn't have the same, when you buy alcohol and stuff like that,
mm-hmm.
Are they limited into how much they can put, proof and all that stuff?
What you do is you take whatever proof in alcohol is, you cut it in half. That's the percentage of pure alcohol in that particular distillant.
But with marijuana.
Same thing.
Same thing.
Whatever you're smoking or eating or ingesting, whatever it may be, whatever form, sometimes they're oils or creams.
Gotcha.
Right? There's a percentage of pure THC.
Food, they make food out of it.
Edibles, yeah, you bet. And as you said, it's gotten stronger. It's gotten more concentrated. Science is rocket shipping along.
People are wondering if there's psychological effects.
Oh, there's been studies.
Psychological
there's been studies
effects.
that habitual use of the stronger strains of marijuana are showing to have, the evidence is in, they're having long-term psychological effects on people, development effects on people who are chronic users, not part-time users, chronic users.
Also, from a fertility standpoint, we did this story just last week. They found that people who are IVF clinics are finding that when they put a
stoned swimmers don't find the pool.
Yeah, they're basically saying if we are not able to move an embryo past day 3, we can go back and we can do a little research on the people who submitted the various parts and find out that the male was probably a heavy weed smoker.
Yeah.
or cannabis user, whatever.
Low
it was.
motility.
Yeah. So they say like 6 months ahead of time. If you want to have kids, 6 months ahead of time at least, try to get that out of your system so that your little guys can do what they need to do.
Get the job done.
Yeah.
Well, the city of Linwood, the opponents to this move by the city of Linwood were citing safety reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not about the effects use has on the population. It's more to the regard of these shops are targets for theft.
Oh, which brings a bad element in?
Well, it's just one of the reasons I think, is the fact that these are still cash businesses. Most marijuana stores, because
of federal laws.
There's federal laws that don't allow marijuana distribution, marijuana retail places to trade in credit.
Gotcha.
So these are cash-heavy businesses, which make them prime targets for robberies. Because when they cited safety concerns in this particular story about Linwood legalizing, where we're putting these barricades outside our doors, we're reinforcing the perimeter of the building, because the smash and move stories every week.
This was from King 5, by the way. Yeah.
Oh, King 5. Smash and grabs about somebody drives a car through the front of a weed store. And they're not just there for bud or whatever. They also want the cash on site.
Yeah.
Or they go in with a weapon. Because it's a cash-heavy buess.
Is this a spigot you could ever turn off? Now that we've had it on, can you ever turn this off? Would people have an appetite for turning it off?
I don't think they would. I think I don't think there's no need to turn it off. I think there's a need for greater regulation with regard to the content of the product.
How much weed you're
right. I mean,
percentages.
imagine you open the grain alcohol store and all you sold was grain alcohol.
Yeah.
190 proof, 95% pure alcohol. Eventually, your community goes blind. Nobody comes to the store anymore, right? I mean, that when I make a joke, but you see these psychological or these psychotic episodes of chronic users of extremely potent marijuana. Eventually, you're going to realize you got to start governing the potency of this product a little bit.
Yeah,
and maybe it's time because I know the federal government earlier this spring is going to look at how they reclassify marijuana as what scheduled drug it is, which will allow banking to get into the marijuana business or marijuana business to get into organized banking. That may take some of the target off their backs.
Which means the price is about to get a lot more expensive.
Well, yeah, maybe so.
Government
with
gets
fees
in
and whatnot.
anything, it gets more expensive.
But it would also lessen it as a target for cash-heavy businesses or more.
Yeah, if they could start using
banking
and all that stuff. That's really interesting.
With regard to
they haven't had it.
Yeah, they're just missing out on the tax revenue. That's what they finally realized. The community's not any safer because your residents of Linwood are still smoking. The ones who want to smoke are smoking.
That's true.
It's not like they have to drive to Idaho or Oregon.
True. Yeah,
got to drive to
I still feel
Briar.
I feel like a prude for saying this, but I still don't like them. I still see them, and I think it's an old thing.
Yeah.
Like because when I was growing up, it was illegal until I was 20.
See, that was the draw for me. I'm sure that to be completely transparent. I quit 30 some years ago.
There you go. But I see them now, and if I see somebody walking in, I'm just like, do they need to hide their face?
Well,
it's that's a silly thought. But I see completely normal people walking in, and I'm just like, that's funny.
You'd be amazed at the clientele that go into a retail marijuana store.
They're probably just like
solid working folks. We're making jokes, or we're talking off air a little bit about Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
Right? I think it was a super bad reference came up you or I somehow.
He's kind of like a super famous
He's a poster boy.
Yeah.
Poster boy. Remember Pineapple Express was just one of his big...
Of course.
Every Seth Rogen movie is a stoner movie in some way, shape, or form. But the guy's a high-functioning regular marijuana user.
Sure.
And that's no different than a high-functioning alcohol user, not an alcoholic.
Well...
There's a difference between an alcoholic and an alcohol user.
If you had to choose, here's a question for you. You got your neighbors, say you live in an apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to have a neighbor who's either a complete stoner or a complete alcoholic. What would you choose?
Stoner.
Yeah, me too.
Anytime.
100%. They're much more jovial. They're
happier. There's no such thing
as
as an angry pothead. I mean, very, very, very rarely.
Yeah.
But angry drunks are a dime a dozen.
Angry drunks, and the potheads are going to be pretty docile.
Yeah.
The
Plus
drunks
they
are
bump into your car. They're going 3 miles an hour. They didn't even know they were moving.
100%.
Totally different.
Yeah. And the drunks are so loud.
Yes.
Stoners just laughing.
Yeah.
Or they're very sad and they're just like very quiet. I mean, everybody affects.
They play Rick and Morty a little loud. You got to bang on the wall, turn it down.
I would choose to have a stoner next to me. I think than a.
Well, you can now look at relocating to Linwood. If that's your goal,
Linwood, yeah.
If your goal is to live next to a stoner, Linwood is back on your list.
All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. Don't miss a second of it. Stick around.
We'll be right back with more of the best of the Jake and Spike Show, KIRO News Radio.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You deserve a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Switch today. Get started for $60 a month for 12 months when you add an advanced solution to a qualifying internet package. Limited time offer. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and autopay with bank account required. Taxes and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-979-3535. That's 800-979-3535. 800-979-3535.
Healthcare costs are rising, and a major driver is hospital prices. They've increased more than 250% over the past 25 years. Families and local businesses are feeling it. At Primera Blue Cross, we're working to change that by negotiating with hospitals to secure fair, responsible prices so you can get the care you need at a cost you can afford. That's coverage that counts. Learn more at coveragethatcounts.primera.com.
Tune in to The Money Professor with Chris Longworth.
Having some certainty about your plan is definitely going to give you all the advantages.
Chris has the heart of an educator.
If you really want to do this correctly, then you get to enjoy every day of retirement like it's a Saturday. And if you don't, it's a Monday for the rest of your life.
Tune in to The Money Professor with Chris Longworth, Saturdays at 8 a.m. right here on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Bonneville, Seattle, and KIRO News Radio are looking for organizations that regularly distribute information about employment opportunities to job applicants or have job applicants to refer. If your organization would like to receive notifications of job vacancies, please notify Human Resources at 1820 Eastlake Avenue East, Seattle, Washington 98102, or email us at seattlealljobs@bonneville.com or call 206-726-6902. Bonneville is an equal opportunity employer.
John Curley here. This baseball season, step up to the plate and get the price of a new heating and cooling system in just 60 seconds on your phone with no pressure. Don't wait. Call the comfort people. HomeComfortAlliance.com. That's HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Why pay retail? Save big with the largest carpet and hardwood flooring selection at Carpet Liquidators. 7 locations. We've got you covered at Carpet Liquidators.
Why pay retail? Carpet Liquidators.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these 3 books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Nothing worse than clutter. With Closets by Design, everything will finally have its place. 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. ClosetsByDesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
I'm Katrina Gashard. Several large steel planters are now blocking off side streets along the Aurora Avenue corridor installed by community members. KIRO News Radio's John Rebb looks at the latest gun violence in North Seattle and the response from the city.
You can see photos of these planters turned barricades at MyNorthwest.com. They're the latest attempt to try and shield what used to be a quiet side street from gunfire, including a 40-plus round shootout this past weekend. The week before, Jake tells KIRO 7 a bullet hit the window of his home right where his son was sleeping.
I could have lost my 6-week-old beautiful baby boy.
Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson says police are increasing emphasis patrols and deploying its gun violence reduction unit. John Repp, KIRO News Radio.
The King County Sheriff's Office tracked down a small dog running through traffic over the weekend. This was near the Shoreline Park and Ride.
I pulled up next to her, I got close to her, and she'll stop, but the moment you get out, she bolts.
A couple walking nearby found the dog and held onto it until police arrived. Deputies say the dog was given a warning.
You've been running but on nothing but open roadway, sir.
Yeah, you are being detained.
The dog was later reunited with its family. The Memorial Day travel rush is still on, and SeaTac Airport estimates 170,000 passengers today. KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin is at SeaTac Airport.
Airport officials say the peak travel times are 4 to 9 a.m., 2 to 5 p.m., and 9 to 11 p.m. Those are going to see the most volume. We found one passenger who says that he's coming home tomorrow, and avoiding the crowds today was just purely by luck.
Funny, when I booked this flight and planned this trip, I didn't realize it was Memorial Day already. I'm like, wow, so it kind of worked out.
Now, to save time, you can use the SEA Spot Saver if there's any spots left. Either go online or on the Fly SEA app to reserve a time to go through TSA without waiting.
Rain and cooler temperatures today with highs in the low 60s. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. Did you see this story? This one hits close to home. Actually, this is a really great idea. Jonathan Haidt, he's a author. He is he's deeply involved in the movement to get kids off of screens.
Oh,
he wrote a book called, I think it's called The Anxious Generation. It's very, very good. And basically, what he details is how starting back in the early 2000s. With that little invention of a smartphone that goes in everybody's pocket. Once kids had that in their pocket and social media, perfect storm. And anxiety rates went through the roof, depression, all these things went, self-image, negative self-image, everything just went crazy.
Yeah.
And the reason is because they have this little confirmation machine that tells you all these different things, and kids are, young kids need positive support from people who love them, and they don't need negative things from negative people online doing crazy things.
It's not just the social. I mean, you're right about everything you just said. The intrusion of the outside world into a kid who's not ready for the outside world yet.
Competing with people you're never going to meet looks.
You used to have to be the most popular kid in class or liked by your classmates or on the playground. Now the kids these days have to be liked by the entire planet. And people snipe in to say horrible things.
Horrible.
It's a sport for these people. Trolling is a sport. Now couple that with the fact that education has tabletized. Is that right?
Education has all these tablets, and in Washington State, for instance, we don't have rules saying that if you're a young person, you can't be using your phones around schools.
There was a phone screen report card. I'm butchering the name of it. But it was literally how states rule against kids using screens and phones, specifically in school during school time. Washington came in the third from the bottom.
Why? That's a curious one to me. Why would Washington sit that one out? Why wouldn't they take more of a progressive approach to say, hey, you know what? I don't think there's a single person listening who has a smartphone who doesn't think to themselves, this is not good in the hands of a child. This is not a good thing.
From what I've heard of Washington's policy decisions with regarding screen time and phone use in schools, they want to leave it by a school district by school district by school district decision instead of having an umbrella uniform policy for the state of Washington. A lot of states...
Well, wouldn't it be nice to provide some guidance and say, like, hey, we can recognize that these are not good for kids.
I agree with you.
And school districts should not be encouraging kids by allowing them to have these. Think of all the things that you loved about high school, like when you were in school.
Mm-hmm.
Now, imagine walking through school with a phone all the time. Are any of those things going to happen?
None of them.
None of them.
Nope. All the awkward moments, the hard lessons you had to learn, the uncomfortableness.
Yes.
All avoided by a screen that's going to just reaffirm everything you want to hear.
Friendships avoided.
Yep.
Getting into trouble avoided. Having things go right avoided.
There are people that they won't allow on the school grounds for good reason. That person comes in on a phone. That person gets through the social media, internet.
They can do everything
Anybody
they
in the
want.
world can get access to your kid.
So there's a school district in Texas. Actually, all school districts in Texas, they now have a statewide ban. For 1 year, they have a statewide ban. They've had it in place. And what they have noticed, and this is for cell phones, and I'm going to apply this in just a second to what I think they should be doing also with computer screens. But for cell phones, they ban them from school on campus. You cannot use them. You can have them, they're not going to stop you from having a phone, but you can't take it out. It's not usable. If you want to, because the argument for a lot of parents is like, well, what if emergency happens? I want to get to my kids.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to stop your kid from having a phone, but you cannot have a phone out and using it. Like in Washington State, you can just walk around campus looking at your phone in between classes.
Yeah, but they limit it to hallway time and lunch time.
Yeah. So they said that book circulation went up 25% because kids said, you know what, I'm not allowed to stare at my phone in school, and I got to look at something, so I might as well read a book, which is great.
Right? I'm with you.
That's what you want kids to do. And so the reason this hit close to home for me is, we've talked about this many times on the show, but my wife and I have made a firm commitment. Our oldest is only 11. We're only just kind of being pushed towards phones, and we've drawn a line in the sand. We just said absolutely no smartphones for our kids until they're old enough to leave the house and they can purchase them on their own if they want.
Oh, wow.
18.
Okay, wow.
Yeah,
good for you.
We're not giving them to them.
I was going to say, by 11, I don't know what your social circle, your kid's social circle is like. I imagine he goes to school with a lot of people who already have access.
Tons of them.
Right?
I was shocked at how many.
Yeah. And that makes it hard for a parent. That's why these school policies are helpful to parents.
They can be, yeah.
They say, hey, it's not me, it's the school.
Yeah.
And then
like uniforms. I wish they'd bring back uniforms.
There's a benefit. There's a true benefit.
Takes away the need to always, wear the latest.
Keeping up.
Everybody just looks the same.
It's ridicule.
Vaguely uncomfortable, which is how everybody should be when they're a child.
Cool. You bet.
But anyway, so we've made this kind of commitment that we're not going to have any. For none of our 4 boys, none of them get a smartphone. If they make that decision as an adult, they can do that someday. That's fine. But we'll give them like dumb phones.
Say your boy
for driving a car
at 16 wants to get a job.
Sure.
And buy his own phone and
Can't not
access.
My house.
Not going to let him have access to a cell phone, even if he pays for it himself, is responsible. And
he can have a dumb phone.
Jitterbugs.
He can't have he can have a jitterbug with big fat buttons.
That's fair. Yeah.
But he can't have a smartphone. It's just too dangerous. 16-year-olds don't know.
I hear you.
16-year-olds are just. I remember myself at 16. Imagine.
I'm just a total tool.
Imagine having everything at your fingertips at 16. If you're a young man that you want to have access to.
Yeah, we know.
You'd never leave the house.
I hear you, brother.
I'm just being real. That's a recipe for bad stuff.
And so many kids have them well before 16.
Yeah.
And they can have them at school.
I know.
We get back to this. Why don't we have an overarching policy in the state of Washington saying that this is how much more evidence do you need?
If Texas is doing it,
right?
Why isn't Washington State doing it? I just don't understand. What's his name? Reichdahl? Chris Reichdahl?
Chris Reichdahl, yeah.
Superintendent of Public Instruction?
Mm-hmm.
Who has chose to sit this one out. I don't understand why you're not more involved. Parents don't want cell phones. They don't want their kids to have these screens all the time. And here's the other thing that really bugs me. So I have three 3 of my kids are in elementary school. My youngest is not yet in school. He's just about to turn 2. 2 of my kids are sitting at the breakfast table the other day, and I'm asking about their day. What are you guys going to be doing today? What classes do you have? And both of them were saying that, they have this screen thing that they have to hit by the end of the week. And I was like, what do you mean by that? Like, what is screen thing? Because every student in school has a little tablet at a certain point that they, through the school district, that they work with.
Yeah.
These little Chromebooks. And they do these programs through these Chromebooks.
Educational programs?
Educational programs, yeah. And so the school, I'm pretty sure the school is contracting for these programs, and they have to justify the budget to purchase them.
Well, it's actually, some schools have said it's financially beneficial to have all of their content go digital, because they don't have to buy physical books. They don't have to update physical books. They can just have one tablet, they reissue, issue. They buy a license for
Can I give you my opinion as a parent? And I have not looked into this, so this is purely parent opinion. That's just laziness. I think it's laziness, and I think it's, when I was a kid and when you were a kid, we grew up where you would have a teacher who would teach you things, and you'd have a pen and a paper. And I'm not sitting here saying, like, you have to be a Luddite and you can never have a computer screen. I had computer classes. I had all that stuff.
Well, I'm talking about, like, textbooks are now issued in digital form to these tablets.
But that's a mistake. These kids are just staring at these blue screens all day, just burning up your eye sockets.
I agree, man. I agree.
And my 8-year-old and my 11-year-old are sitting there. They're lamenting at the breakfast table. I wish we didn't have to do that, but if we don't do that, we don't get to do the next thing in class if we don't get in a certain amount of time.
Committed screen time?
Yes.
Not keeping them off, keeping them on?
Keeping them on.
For the minimum.
There's a certain thing they have to get past. And I was just like, guys, are you serious? Like, do you really have to stare at screen time that much? And my wife's like, I'm sure it's not as bad as it sounds. And maybe it's not.
Yeah.
But both of my kids were both like, it would be great if we didn't have to use these silly programs. I just think they should get rid of the Chromebooks. And the only reason the schools get them anyway at such a discount is because they're trying to create future users for these things.
Yep.
And as a parent, I feel like we're going crazy because I'm sitting there going like, well, why can't they just teach the kids? Why do they need to be on screens all the time? And they're not on listen, it's not 24/7. I understand
I hear you, but it's cumulative.
But it's a lot.
Schools shouldn't be adding to the problem.
It's a lot.
Everything they do is on a screen. It's horrible.
And I applaud the good teachers. And Texas, good job, Texas.
Yeehaw, Texas.
Good job.
For me to even say it out loud.
Cool hats, cool shoes, good laws.
Better readers.
Better readers in Texas. Absolutely. All right, stick around. We're going to be right back.
We'll be right back with more of the best of the Jake and Spike Show, KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Are you an adult with uncontrolled moderate to severe Crohn's disease symptoms and still packing a backup bag of clothes? Just in case? Skyrizi Risankizumab Riza can help you take control of your Crohn's. Feel significant symptom relief, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements at 4 weeks. Plus, Skyrizi is proven to help people achieve remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Individual results may vary. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's. Ready to take control of your Crohn's? Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease.
Control is everything to me.
Learn more at skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Yeah, hi. I need an AC tune-up, and one room isn't comfortable.
We could do both. We'll get your system running right and take a look at the room. Ductless could be a great solution.
Perfect.
Yeah, and if your system's older, right now when you install a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system, the furnace is free.
Wow.
So you get a complete heating and cooling system for the price of one, and we help maximize rebates to save you the most.
Visit cmheating.com today for your tune-up or free estimate.
There's no beating CM Heating.
CMHEA HL751LW.
The future of home comfort is here. The new Carrier Infinity system delivers premium home heating and cooling with innovative filtration for healthy air and over-the-air software updates that help optimize performance. Carrier, for the world we share.
Save up to $2,100 in Carrier Cool Cash rebates when you purchase a premium heating or cooling system, while also taking advantage of a special financing offer of 0% APR for 60 months. For details, visit CarrierNorthwest.com. That's CarrierNorthwest.com.
Every 2 minutes, an American is sexually assaulted. Be the someone who gives their time. Be the someone who lends an ear. Be the someone who takes a step. This is Christina Ricci with RAIN, asking you to join the fight against sexual violence and volunteer in your community. Log on to RAIN.org, that's RAINN.org, to learn how you can be the someone.
This message brought to you by the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network and this station.
There are 5 things money can do for you: growth, liquidity, cash flow, protection, and tax advantages. Don't miss an opportunity because your current retirement plan only focuses on 2 or 3 of them. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Don't settle for a partial plan. Get the real deal by requesting your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Visit America's Car Museum now, where history roars to life. If you loved Ford versus Ferrari, see Shelby Cobras and GT40s in the birth of the American supercar. Cruise-ins, drive-ins, race simulators, fun for all ages. Plan today at americascarmuseum.org.
My name is Carlos, and I'm a Cub Scout. I'm here to talk to you today about becoming a scout like me. Cub Scouts get badges for doing fun activities, and we make friends. Scouts go camping, climbing, and fishing, and swimming together. We play sports and go to parades. Scouts also help people and become the best versions of themselves. Visit bascout.org to find a pack near you, get any questions answered, and sign up for Cub Scouts online.
Call or click 811 before you dig. Anything that causes you to roll up your sleeves a little and dig in requires you to first connect with 811. Call or click 811 and visit safeexcavator.com.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with more.
24% of businesses are now thinking about leaving Washington.
Traffic.
We are definitely seeing some slowing through the S-curves.
Conversation.
We build it, we produce it, we charge for it.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! Are you kidding me?
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious, with better nutrition, too. It's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best.
Guys, it's Men's Health Month at Revive Washington. Start treatment and get a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value. Check testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, and more. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Hartley here from Wilcox Farms. For over 100 years, my family's been committed to doing what's right. At Wilcox Family Farms, that means caring for our hens with healthy pasture environments and a diet of organic grains and flax seeds. It's how we produce eggs that are wholesome, flavorful, and good for you. Next time you're at an egg case in your local store, we hope you feel good about choosing Wilcox eggs. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
Welcome back to the show. I saw this video going around, viral video, And when I first saw it, I was like, whoa, that's insane. And I kind of skipped over it because there's a lot of crazy videos out in the world, and we have to, we have to be very serious about what we bring to you.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd like it to apply to your life in some way.
Yeah.
And then I saw that this was in Washington, in Spokane. I went, bingo.
Cheney.
Yeah.
Cheney, Washington.
Cheney, Washington.
And it's another thing because the potential, honestly, victim here was a young kid riding around on a dirt bike.
Mm-hmm.
And I see those all the time.
Well,
all the time.
That's the question. Was it a dirt bike or was it, quote, an electric bike?
An e-bike. Oh, that's a good question.
It's an e-bike, I believe. I don't believe it makes dirt bike noises.
The story from Como News that I'm reading here refers to it as a dirt bike.
Okay.
But what I see everywhere are those e-bikes everywhere.
I see these. When I first saw the video, so there's a lady driving down the street. This happened on April 28th. There's a lady driving down the street. She's in like a little Ford Focus, like those hatchbacks.
Silver Ford Focus.
Silver Ford Focus.
And she's blurred out in the video.
Yeah.
Not the poor kid.
But the kid's not. Yeah.
Look at this.
So so here it is. So she's driving down the street. She stops. She sees this kid riding along on the sidewalk on this e-bike, and she turns around and she goes for him. And thankfully, he's speeding around her. They refer to it as a motorbike. It looks like a motorbike, but I do think it's an e-bike.
I think you're probably right.
He then speeds away, and she chases him on the sidewalk.
This lady is now left the roadway, going up a sidewalk between the grass, the grass plot, the street, sidewalk right there.
And thankfully, this kid is able to get out of there.
He's got game. He's got skills. He evaded.
Does. Yeah. I mean, it looks like
he gets back to the street to flee, and she chases him down the street.
She chases him.
But that's not where the story ends.
So Spokane County deputies get a call about, 25 minutes? Yeah, 25 minutes later. They get a call about a possible burglary at a nearby home. And so they show up at this location. Lo and behold, it's the same.
Cars parked in a driveway.
Silver Ford Focus.
Silver Ford Focus in a driveway.
And the homeowner, who's not at the house, says that he was watching a person on his security cam footage.
Thank goodness.
Trying the door handles, this and that. Yeah, everybody's got cameras now. Thank God.
Goodness. Yeah,
it's really easy to get people. And so they're able to locate the woman and find her. And listen to this. This is crazy. After being advised, I'm going to quote to you from the Como piece. After being advised of her rights, the suspect told deputies that she had taken her dog for a ride and was looking for other dogs to socialize with.
Yeah,
naturally.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Haven't we all done that before we tried to run a kid down? She said that she stopped after noticing dogs in a fenced yard and denied knowing the homeowner or attempting to enter the home. She also told deputies she did not remember the earlier incident.
Involving said bike and kid.
Exactly. Yeah. She initially denied consuming alcohol or drugs and later was booked on first-degree attempted assault, DUI, and first-degree criminal trespass.
And driving under the influence. Yeah, there's the key factor here. Can I tell you one other feature of the story that caught my eye?
Please.
Did you notice the time of day? The time of day.
Early.
6 a.m.
That is early.
Chasing a kid on a bike at 6 a.m.
You're right.
Here's the thing. I mentioned that I see these kids on these electric bikes all the time, all over the place.
They're everywhere.
6 a.m. is a little early.
What is that?
For a kid to be out running on the street.
Tuesday. That's a Tuesday.
Tuesday
I was
at
like,
6
is that a
a.m.
Saturday morning? Kids do get up early. You know what, though? When I was a kid, they called them mini bikes when I was a kid, but it was a dirt bike.
Yeah. Do you have the kind with the pull start, like a lawnmower?
No.
See, I had one of those.
I had a kickstart.
Yeah.
But I desperately, I saved up for it. I mowed yards, all these things. Didn't even get close to affording it. And then my parents finally came to me when I was 12. They said, hey, what if we help you get this dirt bike?
Mm-hmm.
Keep working for it, but what if we help you enjoy the dirt bike before you're too big? Because at the rate I was saving, I still wouldn't have it.
You'd have it today.
Yeah. And
After this show, we're going to go pick it up.
I'm going to go get it. And so my parents got me a dirt bike. I would get up at like 5:30 in the morning. It was like the dirt bike kid. I'd get up early to ride these things.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It's not. I don't have a problem with the kid. I get it. Before school, it's a school day.
Yeah.
He got his new dirt bike. Going to get a couple laps in around the neighborhood before I got to go to school.
Sure.
It's the drunk driver at 6 a.m.
Yeah, you're right.
That's what troubles me.
That is the bigger problem.
You know, I'm taking me and Mr. Sprinkles going to take him out. We want to go meet some dogs.
Do you believe that? She was I can believe a crazy drunk person. I think my dog wants to make friends.
Well, if you're drunk at 6 in the morning, of course your dog tells you he wants to meet people.
I think you're right. I think that's what happened. I think she was ironically, I think she was telling the truth.
Yeah.
Still doesn't make it legal, but I think that's probably what she was actually doing.
I've often felt that alcohol doesn't change people. It's just a magnifying glass.
Yeah, it reveals.
Right. She's always been the kind of person that wants her dog to be happy. and drinks at 6 in the morning. Which is a dangerous combination.
Which is dangerous. Watch out for that. All right. We got a lot more coming up. Stick around.
Yeah.
Right back.
We'll be right back with more of the best of the Jake and Spike Show, KIRO News Radio.
Honoring the ones who made the ultimate sacrifice this Memorial Day. While celebrating with friends and loved ones, take a few moments to remember and reflect that we remain the home of the free because of the brave. Reverently celebrating Memorial Day with you. We are KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Spring is the season homeowners start improving their homes. Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. If your home needs roofing, siding, new windows, gutters, or decking, our team can take care of it all. For a limited time, save up to $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows project. Planning multiple upgrades? Combine your projects and save even more. Or with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. You can start your project now and pay later. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Memorial Day weekend is a time to honor and remember those who serve for the United States Armed Forces. This holiday weekend is also the unofficial start to summer and brings people outside for boating, barbecues, and get-togethers. My friend Jonathan from DUI Heroes says DUI arrests increase around this weekend, so be safe. If you or someone you know is pulled over for DUI around the holiday weekend, contact DUI Heroes immediately. Your DUI defense specialist, 1-800-DUI-HERO, DUIHeroes.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Thanks. Is oil marked down?
Save up to $15 when you buy 5 quarts and a filter.
And fuel treatment?
2 for $9 on Lucas.
Brake pads?
Marked down to free.
Free?
Get free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 Duralast rotors.
That's several markdowns.
For many more miles.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses, plus free delivery when you add a base. Ends Monday. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
He flew fighter jets in 2 wars and taught you how to drive a car. He fed everyone on the block, but never shared his secret recipes. And every time he'd tell a story, he'd own the room. But now more than ever, he may feel alone. Today, older adults and their loved ones are struggling to connect in a time when connection has never been more important. But there is something we can do. Embrace our older loved ones through StoryCorps Connect. With StoryCorps Connect, you can honor seniors remotely with an interview about their life. Every interview will be archived at the Library of Congress, becoming part of American history, so that years from now, future generations can listen in.
All right, Grandpa, what's one piece of advice you have for me?
Just 3 words, sweetheart. Live with courage. The man that had the best stories still has plenty of stories to tell. So connect virtually and share the conversation of a lifetime at StoryCorpsConnect.org/AARP. Connect, honor, share. StoryCorps Connect. A message from AARP, StoryCorps, and the Ad Council.
I just can't dig it.
Dig what?
My water line.
Needs replacing?
And I don't want digging in my yard.
And maybe your driveway.
Can't dig it.
Don't dig it.
But how do you?
Apollo Plumbing replaces water lines without digging up your yard.
You're Dan.
From the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Apollo Plumbing.
Our trenchless technology replaces water and sewer lines.
Without digging up my yard?
2 little holes is all it takes.
Sounds better.
Faster, too.
And my yard?
Like we were never there.
Sounds spendy.
Not so much.
Oh?
In the end, about the same as that messy digging you don't want.
How do you figure?
Think about that landscaping you love.
Yeah?
Trenchless means you won't be paying to replace it.
Or my driveway.
We run everything underground.
Trenchless?
Do them all the time.
How about...
Easy payments?
Yeah.
With approved credit. Sure thing.
When can you get started?
We are the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Love that.
Apollo Plumbing, trenchless waterline replacement.
Sewer lines, too.
Can you dig that?
That I can.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
It started as a puddle.
Where?
In the shower.
Uh-oh.
Then the kitchen sink.
Started backing up?
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Clogged up.
Right. No problem.
Beg your pardon?
There's no clog we can't clear.
You're Dan.
From Apollo Plumbing.
This is going to get pricey.
How about $83?
To clear my drain?
Apollo Plumbing clears main drains every day.
For $83?
83 or it's free.
What's the catch?
No catch. We'll even do a camera inspection.
Why's that?
It's the best way to find the cause of your clog.
And it's included?
No extra charge. Truth is, we hate clogs.
I don't love them.
Seen them all.
Ew.
I promise. There's no clog Apollo can't clear.
Guaranteed.
83 or free.
Goodbye, slow drains.
All it takes is an accessible clean out.
And Apollo gets my drains draining again.
You call, we come, it's fixed.
My heroes.
Just doing our job.
Thank you, Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Tune in to elevate your wealth. If you're 5 to 10 years from retirement, you do not have the time to deal with a market downturn.
With Mark Stimson and Casey Elkins.
It's important that you know what the rules are, because if you don't, you can make some tremendous decisions that could adversely affect you, and you may not be able to go back and fix them.
Tune in to Elevate Your Wealth, Saturdays at 11 a.m., right here on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. Her visit to a migrant detention center at Delaney Hall in Newark was formally denied by immigration police, says New Jersey Governor Mikey Sherrill at a protest nearby.
We've been working with ICE to get into the facility. I was just denied that this morning. I was hoping well, we certainly will.
Relatives scheduled to see loved ones at Delaney Hall today say they were kept out. Migrants at Delaney Hall are currently on a hunger strike protesting poor conditions. Though U.S. markets were closed for Memorial Day, Wall Street futures went up and oil prices went down on word from President Trump that talks with Iran are progressing. A major sticking point is the U.S. demand that Iran turn over all its enriched uranium. Some of the 50,000 people evacuated in Orange County, California, might be allowed back home soon. Fire officials say crew has cut the risk of a major explosion at a damaged toxic chemical tank at an aircraft plant, Garden Grove. This is ABC News. Uber and Lyft drivers in Massachusetts have successfully organized. They are now the first rideshare worker union in the country. Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey.
People are dealing with the cost of everything going up, and it's important that, these workers, like other workers, get paid what they deserve. And that's what this is about.
Bargaining decisions will require majority approval from all members. More talk about what the sacrifices of America's war dead means on Memorial Day. In New York City, the Intrepid Museum on board a retired aircraft carrier docked at the Hudson River, opening its doors to veterans and members of the armed forces. Mayor Zoran Mamdani.
As each of us enjoy the fruits of lives of peace and freedom, homes where we are safe at night, children who learn and grow in school, let us always remember that none of this was promised. It was won by sacrifice, and it must be cherished.
Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Derek Wing. Tacoma police have arrested a woman after a stabbing victim showed up at a local hospital Sunday night. Officers say the victim, an adult man, arrived by private vehicle, but despite medical efforts, died shortly after. Police later located the crime scene in the 1200 block of South M Street. They say the woman was taken into custody and booked into Pierce County Jail. A 16-year-old boy is dead after a roadside shooting overnight in Parkland, and whoever did it is still on the run. KIRO News Radio's John Repp has the latest from the Sheriff's Office investigators.
The 16-year-old was found lying in the road on Sheridan Avenue South Sunday evening. Pierce County Sheriff's Deputy Carly Capetto says the victim was walking with his girlfriend when a vehicle pulled up and called him over.
Suspects in the vehicle robbed the victim of some jewelry, shot him, and then fled the scene.
Detectives would like to hear from you if you have any leads or potentially surveillance video that could help them zero in on the suspects. John Rapp, KIRO News Radio.
A major alcohol distributor is warning the state it may lay off 267 workers in Washington. Republic National Distributing Company filed the notice last week covering operations in Auburn, Everett, Seattle, and Spokane. The company says a third party is expected to take over those sites. Some employees could keep their jobs under the new buyer, and Republic National might hold on to a few as well, but nothing is locked in yet. Your forecast for today, cloudy with a high of 61. Tomorrow, some showers with a high of 63. Wednesday, sunshine and clouds with a high of 70. I'm Derek Wing, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
You're listening to the best of the Jake and Spike Show on 97.3 KIRO News Radio.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. I'm very, very excited about this next conversation because, well, basically it just confirms everything that Spike and I were talking about. We were very afraid with this bill that got passed, the Senate Bill 2355, which is a workers' bill of rights that was signed into law. Governor Ferguson signed this into law.
One of the first things that got done across his desk after the short session.
Brought it across his desk. He signed it. He's very proud of it. But as we were talking about, everybody wants to make sure that workers are protected in their places of employment. But as we're talking about what our fears were, and I say our as in I'm speaking for myself, but I think you probably were somewhere along the same way.
There was just so much gray in this. And it didn't feel like the right fix which I think are some genuine issues that it addressed.
But is it turning what might be an otherwise like casual employment relationship privately? Does it turn like somebody who hires a gardener? Does it make you now their official employer, subject to all of the liabilities and lawsuits that could come from a traditional employment relationship?
More questions than answers, it felt like.
So we're hoping to get some of these answers from Elizabeth New, who has a great piece about this. She's from the Washington Policy Center. She joins us now. Elizabeth, thank you so much for making the time.
Thanks for having me, and thanks for addressing this issue. It's super confusing, like you just laid out.
It's very confusing. So, again, the bill is Senate Bill 2355. It's now law in Washington State. You do such a beautiful job in this piece, so laying out exactly why these gray areas are going to quite possibly and likely lead to some very bad situations for just private citizens who want to hire somebody who might come in to clean their house once a week or once a month. Walk us through a little bit of that.
Yeah, House Bill 2355 is super fuzzy. The new exemptions, the exemptions within it for people who they're not talking about, which they call casual workers, isn't super clear. So that butts up against framework that says a domestic worker who you hire to do odd jobs or jobs regularly is 4 hours a month or more. So most, neighborhood kids are hired maybe once a week for a yard. A couple times babysitting a month could get you over this threshold.
Oh, easily.
So it's just really putting people in confusion at what is an employment situation and what is casual labor. And I think they wrote it vague on purpose, right? This is going to be compliant and legally enforced. So you're not going to know whether you're employing someone or not employing someone as a domestic worker until someone complains and tries to either file a complaint with L&I or pursue a private right of action. And that's the fear, that this is going to eliminate these informal voluntary arrangements because people are too freaked out to have them.
Well,
I would be.
I would be this for not for a second would I even consider if I'm going to hire somebody to, put in some plants or, my wife and I, when we get the odd night away from the kids and we hire a babysitter, if she becomes an employee that the state recognizes that I am now her employer, I'm now, according to this new bill, I'm now responsible for vacation time. I'm now responsible for sick leave. I'm now responsible for if she feels like she was unduly fired, that's going to be worked out in a court of law.
Written agreements?
Written agreements.
Right.
There's going to be like up to a $20,000 penalty that I would be subject to if she proves her case in court. There's going to be a lot. Their own numbers are projecting they're going to spend now. They need 8 additional staff.
Yes.
Talk about that.
Well, that's what scared me when I was reading this the most. I thought, well, if they really just expect this for those, everyone agrees domestic workers who are being a nanny in your home or doing a lot of housework for you, those kinds of things. They're hired and they need to be treated fair. They need to be compensated and they need to understand when they're not going to be working for you anymore, all of that. And this bill would require those upfront clarifications to those people. A written agreement that tells them their schedules, their pay, what's expected, how long they're expected, and then you're required to give a termination notice to these people as well. But, what we're afraid of is that it was written so loose with this 4-hour standard that we live in a litigation land. Let's say an entrepreneur child that you hired down the street talks to a lawyer and wants to now complain about the work they were hired for. It's just not going to be worth it for a lot of people to go this route.
Is it going to be leading to the elimination of a lot of opportunities for domestic workers, do you think?
I think so. I think that, like we just discussed, I'd be more comfortable hiring with a hiring agency to do even minimal yard work or watch my kids after school, because it's just not worth it to open myself up to that kind of risk.
And that comes with a fee. That comes with a fee to the agency paid by the workers. You're taking money out of workers' pockets.
But
exactly. So it's bad for them too. Less work available for the person who wants an odd job or a neighbor who wants extra work on the side. It's just going to diminish that kind of work.
I'm thinking too, that is a liability that people are not going to want to take on. I mean, I would probably. I guarantee you, I'd be much more likely to go through some sort of an actual employer who has already signed up. They are giving these people W-2s. They are doing all those things legally. Right. I'll pay a premium to them, and they're going to be the ones that have to face any possible lawsuits or have to worry about time cards and things like that. I don't want to deal with that headache, and I don't want somebody, knocking on my door, like you said. Some kid like myself, when I was a kid, we all did this.
Mowed lawns.
You mowed lawns. I went around and I had an old printer in the house, and I went around and I made little business cards, and I went around in the neighborhood. I guarantee you, I worked for some neighbors for more than 4 hours a month. They'd hire me once a week. It would take at least an hour to do their yard.
Do it right. You bet. Can you edge that too? You bet.
Yeah, absolutely. And
get the clippings. You bet.
They're just being nice.
Did you get a lunch break for that?
I did not get a lunch break.
You get a 10-minute break every 4 hours for that?
Well,
see,
you joke, but
I know it's because it's hilarious. Am I getting sickly for that?
Elizabeth, how did they come up with? And we're talking with Elizabeth New at the Washington Policy Center. How did they come up with that 4-hour number? That's such a small number.
I think they want it. They're basing it off of other places with this type of law. There's one in Seattle, and the 4 hours, I'm sure, was pursued to include more people than fewer people, and that's what it's going to do. And the good and bad news in this is, normal people who don't follow silly laws in the legislature aren't going to know about this and probably not comply with the law. The bad news in that is that you could open yourself up to litigation by not even knowing what was expected. So, I think it was written vague on purpose, and they expect agencies and courts to make the rulings on who domestic workers are and who they aren't.
Here's a question.
So you don't even know when you're walking into the relationship what it is.
You might not know this. It might be out of your purview, but if I'm now an employer, do I need a license? Does that affect my homeowner's insurance policies? If I'm now an employer bringing in paid employees into my home, whether a gardener, a housekeeper, a babysitter?
I don't believe so, but I have not pursued that angle directly.
Okay.
That's true.
I apologize. I'm intending to take you out of your depth. So
I think that's a great question. Like Liz was saying, it's a very vague law.
Yeah, and I was wondering too, and need to talk to people more about the tax implications, right? This isn't good either for either side. If you're now having to, there's a lot of workers out there who don't track their little side gigs or this or that.
Sure.
They're in trouble with this law too. If there's something on paper of course, they probably wouldn't pursue a complaint and then activate the knowledge of this lack of tax payment or whether they're compliant to pay taxes. I just think it complicates a very old pastime we have of hiring people for odd jobs around the house and things like that. And domestic workers were already protected under the law for the amount of wages they made and things like that. So I just see this as intrusive on those informal relationships and think they'll start to go down.
Can you speak to that for a second? Because when I see a bill like this, it strikes me as just like overall, this would be like a 2 thumbs down for me. I actually don't have a scale, but let's say it's a 2 thumbs down scale. It feels like they're injecting themselves into a situation where everybody was pretty happy. Like you mentioned, there was already laws protecting people to some extent who did these things. If somebody's in a private, arrangement like this where they want to make money and they don't want to have to pay a premium to the employer who sets the job up for them or whatever, they know what they're getting into. They can set their own schedule and their own hours. There's a lot of benefits to this. Are they thinking, like, is Washington State thinking we want to try to eliminate those arrangements altogether? Because that's the only outcome I see for
eliminate under the table gigs.
Well,
and
again,
it feels to me like they're saying we want it all to be formalized and we want it to all be with these. I imagine a lot of these like union jobs. Is this about getting people into workers' unions, or what is this about? Like, who benefits from this?
Well, it's interesting. I mean, I do think there have been domestic workers who have been treated unfairly. No doubt about it.
Sure, that's fair to say. Yeah.
I understand that completely. But they have to be pursuing an end to informal work relationships that are voluntary. And I saw one person who was a strong supporter of the bill quoted in a news article this week that said, this is only just the beginning where we see a need for health benefits, vacation time, things like that. So I don't doubt that this is an agenda that's being pursued, that you would start to have very formal work arrangements, and you're bringing labor law to living rooms. Well, it's just something we haven't dealt with before.
Your piece starts with a really excellent assessment of it. It says you've got a labor laws for the living room that are using policies and designed for HR departments that are all encompassing, that are big corporate type models. I mean, is this about domestic employees wanting it both ways? That they want the freedom and the no overhead of being a part of an organization, but that they still want the benefits of healthcare and they still want the benefits of vacation time and sick time. I mean, that seems that seems like one both ways. It doesn't seem fair to someone trying to hire.
Yeah, I think it is unfair, and I think this law brings all sorts of confusion. And, if it took me 3 days of reading this law and talking to people, questioning various lawmakers, the average homeowner is not going to do all this. They will just not hire directly. They will go to an agency and hire for an odd job for the yard or for sitting for your child. There's a lot of us moms of a certain age who paid someone to watch our kids for an hour after school each day, and that's a regular employee.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
That's going to be huge. And that you now become their actual employer. They can say, hey, you owe me vacation time. You're like, wait a minute, I need somebody to watch my kids.
I got a toothache. How's your dental when you're trying to book a babysitter?
I know. I mean, that's an unreasonable expectation for people. It's going to stop. It's interesting when you watch, like, you almost look at any business that before was running well. And, like you say, there are outliers and there are people who are abusing the system, and that happens. But in general, everybody understands what's happening here and what's at stake. And you have, any time that the government gets involved in these things, it's going to get more expensive. It's going to become less available because you're not going to want to go to those. Those jobs are going to dry up. People are not going to be hiring those people. It's too big of a liability. It's law now. You just watch how fast it dries up. They've done this with things like childcare. It's going to be more expensive for people now. And, man, I wish the state would just stay out of this stuff.
Elizabeth, you said there's a lot of gray area, a lot of unclear, a lot of fuzzy. Is that going to be improved in the future?
I don't think so. It was interesting. They shot down 4 amendments that I thought would have helped this bill tremendously. One was to up the hours to 10 hours. Still a problem, but better. Another one was to not bring the termination requirement until it's a 10-hour-a-month situation. There were two other ones that I'm not remembering off the top of my head, but it clarified better the independent contractor relationship, and I can't remember the other one, but they turned down every one. So it made it clear to me that they're going to rely on the courts and L&I, a state agency, to clarify this better. The agency has been asked to create guidelines and a sample contract for people to use. And I think that's great, right? I think it's going to be good to have something that people can look to for what they're even expected to do. So I'll be looking at that. It's due out before the law takes place in July of 2027. So I think that's great. And the education on this is going to be massive. You know, when the law is this unclear on who's an informal casual worker and 4 hours a month makes you a domestic worker, it's going to be hard for anyone to move forward with any peace of mind. You know, this law might have helped protect some workers who needed protection, and I'm all for that. But in the process, you've gotten rid of informal casual work agreements made on voluntary basis, and it's a bummer.
I just want to give credit where it's due. This was so all Republicans voted against this, right? There's no Republicans who supported this, but 2 Democrats also voted against this. Was it Marco Leas out of Everett?
Yeah.
And then Amy Wallen out of Kirkland. 2 Democrats who also said no.
It was interesting, too, when I watched the hearings or the floor vote. I can't remember which it was, but Marco Leas was one of the people proposing an amendment to make this a little bit more palatable, and said he really agreed with the underlying premise here, but that it needed some finessing. And he voted how he said he would. He couldn't support it. They didn't support the amendment, and he didn't. So I don't know enough about his position all the way along, but I was impressed to see that, if we weren't going to make the law more palatable, he wasn't in.
Good for him. The last thing to point out, too, is, I think there's a lot of people listening right now. Like, I think about my mother-in-law who's, she's reached a certain age where she's not doing a lot of the outdoor stuff that she used to really enjoy doing, but she still loves having a beautiful garden. And she has a guy who comes by, I think probably once a week for like 2 hours a week, and he does a nice job. And I think he does this for a number of people of a certain age.
Yeah.
I would have to say now, as a protective son-in-law, I would reach out to her and be like, hey, just to let you know, you are now actually going to become, I mean, again, it doesn't kick in until 27, right? But you are actually going to become his his employer in the eyes of the state. You're going to be responsible for things like sick leave. He can sue you if he feels like he was wrongfully terminated. If you are in violation of it more than once, I think the fine jumps up to is it $20,000?
For a repeat offender.
For a repeat offender?
I believe.
And so,
if this guy's got 6 employers?
Yeah.
How does that figure out?
Yeah, that's a great question.
A written agreement from each of them. And he should. I read some legal advice from Davis Wright Tremaine, and they were saying the same thing. I was telling people in my blog that even if it's casual, to be safe at this point, I would have a written agreement.
Sure.
And I'm not even sure how, if I hire someone to babysit my kids, the termination requirement is bizarre. I've just hired you for a one-time gig. Do I give you the same day I give you that written agreement?
Yeah.
You have an entry and exit interview same day.
You're totally right.
We'll handle the exit interview on the drive home. Yeah.
You're hired. I'd also like to let you know that your services are no longer required. Like, wait a minute, what? By babysitting or not?
You got 37 cents severance, by the way. Yeah, we appreciate your time.
Crazy. All right, well, I suggest everybody read this. You can check it out at Washington Policy Center. That's Elizabeth New. Thank you so much for coming on. We'd love to have you back sometime.
You bet. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, take it easy.
By the way, a quick correction, if I may, on you, my friend. Mark Elias is Edmonds. He's
Edmonds, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
That wasn't worth it. What you were rolling along. I didn't want to. Just want to make sure Marco knows.
Marco Leas. Lias or Leas?
Lias.
Lias. All right.
Well, she said Leas. Maybe.
I always thought it was Leas.
We had him on the show. How can none of us remember?
I think it's Marco Leas.
Yeah, at least I got Edmonds right.
Let's call it Leas. Whoever he is, he voted the right way, which was no. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around.
We'll be right back with more of the best of the Jake and Spike Show, KIRO News Radio.
This hour is brought to you by Davis Law Group.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with more.
24% of businesses are now thinking about leaving Washington.
Traffic.
We are definitely seeing some slowing through the S-curves.
Conversation.
We build it, we produce it, we charge for it.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! Are you kidding me?
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Summer's supposed to be fun. When the kids are home all day, the groceries, they add up fast. G. Scott here with a quick heads up from Safeway. There's a program called Sunbucks that gives qualifying families $120 per child for summer groceries. Some families are signed up automatically and will get a card in the mail. Others need to apply. Take a minute to check. It could really help put food on the table for your family. Head to freesummermeals.org to find out more. That's freesummermeals.org.
Every 65 seconds, someone in the United States develops Alzheimer's disease. Many don't even know it.
I was lucky. We caught this at the very earliest stages. Pieces of my past are being erased.
Bright Focus Foundation's Alzheimer's Disease Research Program has invested more than $175 million in breakthrough research. Call us at 1-855-345-6237 or visit us online at brightfocus.org/brainhealth to learn more.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Lumen Field on Seahawks game days is your key to unlocking premium hospitality, views, and experiences. Host a memorable event in your own private game day suite. Or see an up-close, unique perspective from sideline and end zone field seats. To learn more about all the ways you can elevate your Seahawks game day at Lumen Field, visit Seahawks.com/premium.
You pledged your life to serve. You made sacrifices, lost loved ones. At VA, we don't see the falls you've taken. We see the 1,000 times you've stood back up. We embrace your uniqueness and won't trivialize your hardships. We can't promise to heal all wounds or wash away all trauma, but we do see a path forward. We see all veterans. We see you. Learn how treatment works and recovery is possible. Visit maketheconnection.net.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from Nunn Better Tax Resolution. So, Greg, not all tax resolution companies are the same. There are some that are definitely not local. There are others that don't quite know what they're doing even.
Well, I tell you, these ads that all of us hear, Fresh Start program, they make you feel like, hey, man, I can just easy peasy get my taxes written off. No. And I've had several clients actually come to me after going through that process, and they just get no response after a while. They're passed around from person to person. That doesn't happen at my firm.
You are familiar with the cases that come in. You're working on them.
I'm familiar with every case that comes into our office. And I know what's going on and have the ability to really advise our taxpayers very well on what to do.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. Nunn Better Tax Resolution, from stress to success with IRS Solutions. 425-947-1967 or Google NUNN. Nunn Better Tax Resolution.
Hartley here from Wilcox Farms. For over 100 years, my family's been committed to doing what's right. At Wilcox Family Farms, that means caring for our hens with healthy pasture environments and a diet of organic grains and flax seeds. It's how we produce eggs that are wholesome, flavorful, and good for you. Next time you're at an egg case in your local store, we hope you feel good about choosing Wilcox eggs. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
Windows are a home's top target for break-ins. At Lake Washington Windows and Doors, we offer added security with our exclusive 3-layer security glass protection. Combined with our lifetime warranty, you'll have lifetime peace of mind. Choose Lake Washington Windows and Doors, a name you can trust.
This Memorial Day, feel the freedom of lower energy bills. Lake Washington Windows and Doors is taking $525 off every window, plus $1,000 off every patio or entry door. Plus, enjoy 12 months free financing. LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
If you're worried your friend may be struggling, remember, you don't have to be there to be there.
You could say, how are you, or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could chat on the game, kick off your flip-flops. You could ask on your couch while you binge watch. Whatever gets you talking.
Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and the JED Foundation.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Carrie injured her back years ago. This is her story.
My herniated disc was so significant that they did the first surgery, the laminectomy and a microdiscectomy. The first surgery failed, and I ended up with another herniated disc, which is pretty typical that herniations just move up your spine. The doctor was recommending another fusion surgery, so I researched alternative therapies. Sound Pain Solutions developed a plan that included bioelectric therapy, laser therapy, decompression, pressure wave therapy, in addition to rehab. Once we started that comprehensive approach, it went phenomenally. They honestly have given me my life back, and I'm happy to help other patients find Sound Pain Solutions sooner.
Schedule a free consultation to learn if you qualify for our non-surgical and drug-free treatments at soundpainsolutions.com.
The Harnish Auto Family Super Sale is happening right now. The cost of living has gone up, but when buying a car, it doesn't have to feel like it. Zero Down delivers, no payments all summer, and exclusive 10-day deals in partnership with Tapco Credit Union. With a wide selection of new vehicles and over 400 used vehicles across 5 dealerships, you'll find just what you're looking for. Visit Subaru, Volkswagen, and Chevy Buick GMC of Puyallup or Kia and Chevy of Everett. Harnish Auto Family. People matter.
Offers available OAC on select models. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Call or click 811 before you dig. Anything that causes you to roll up your sleeves a little and dig in requires you to first connect with 811. Call or click 811 and visit safeexcavator.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Derek Wing. The Memorial Day travel rush is on, and SEA Airport estimates 170,000 passengers today. KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin is at the airport.
Airport officials say the peak travel times are 4 to 9 a.m., 2 to 5 p.m., and 9 to 11 p.m. Those are going to see the most volume. We found one passenger who says that he's coming home tomorrow, and avoiding the crowds today was just purely by luck.
Funny, when I booked this flight and planned this trip, I didn't realize it was Memorial Day already. I'm like, wow, so it kind of worked out.
Now, to save time, you can use the SEA Spot Saver if there's any spots left. Either go online or on the Fly SEA app to reserve a time to go through TSA without waiting.
A message to the city of Seattle from people who live on Aurora Avenue North. Do something about the nonstop gunfire and violence endangering their families. KIRO News Radio's John Repp has the latest.
This sound is what neighbors say happens on a near weekly basis. Most recently, the weekend shootout near the Burgermaster at 98th with 40 shell casings recovered.
Shots were fired. I mean, umpteen, I can't even tell you how many.
Rudy Pantoja recalling that to KIRO 7. City residents have now installed several large steel planters to block off side streets. Mayor Katie Wilson says the city is increasing emphasis patrols and deploying its gun violence reduction unit. John Repp, KIRO News Radio.
In sports, the Sounders fell 1-0 to LAFC. They're now on a 7-week break for the World Cup. The city of Seattle will host 6 matches. Your weather today, cloudy with a high of 61. Tomorrow, some showers with a high of 63. I'm Derek Wing, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. This is an interesting topic we're going to discuss, in that Spike and I both are passionately uninterested by what we are going to discuss. Does that make sense?
That's fair.
I think that's
fair. That's where they've brought us with this story.
Bumbershoot announced their lineup, and I included this in our, in the morning, email with all the stuff that we may discuss today. And I included it kind of as just I tossed it in there because I noticed the cost, which we'll get into in just a second. I noticed the cost for general admission, and I was like, that is generous, which we will discuss in just a second. And I didn't know if it would make the cut for stories that we talk about. And then you were like, I have zero interest in Bumbershoot. I'm not, you don't care about it.
I don't care. And maybe it's because I'm old. Maybe it's because I remember when I moved here in 1989, I'd never seen anything like Bumbershoot. Never. It was something, Baltimore didn't have a
good thing, a bad thing?
Great thing. Great thing.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, this end of summer music and arts festival, I got to learn so much about Seattle and see some of the greatest artists in the world.
And for anyone who doesn't know, this is in Seattle Center, which is like 74 acre, whatever.
Yeah.
And they have all these different venues, which you can then go into, and you can catch shows, you can catch comedy shows, and all these different things.
There's multiple stages, acts of every level of success. My first year in Seattle.
The one qualification is that nobody can know who you are.
Well,
I'm just joking.
When you look at today's lineup, we'll get to today's lineup.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about my first year, B.B. King, Little Richard, Soundgarden, who I didn't know who they were yet, Chris Isaac, Dr. John, Etta James.
We have a bunch of these if you want to hear
some.
Oh,
place, yeah, because I had Mike pull some.
So you actually heard Etta James sing this song at Bumbershoot.
At Bumbershoot.
At last.
I'm at Bumbershoot. They move you into the Key Arena, or was at the Coliseum at the time.
Yeah.
For the bigger shows, for B.B. King, for Ray Charles. We're talking Jackson Brown, Bonnie Raitt, no doubt, R.E.M.
Here's a little R.E.M.
First 5 years I'm in town, R.E.M.'s headline in Bumbershoot. Biggest band in the world at the time. They're ascending to that position, right? Biggest cover of Rolling Stone.
Yeah.
MTV's Darlings.
Yeah.
I'm seeing Roy Orbison. I'm seeing Loretta Lynn played Bumbershoot.
Did you just assume that this was always like the biggest music festival ever? I mean, had you ever at the time?
No.
This is 1980s?
89. My first 5 years, 89, 90.
Did you go to a lot of music festivals before that?
I went to 1,000 concerts in my life.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're a big Bruce fan.
I was a big Bruce fan, but I mean, when I was 15, that's what we did. We saw the Stones, we saw Clapton, we saw The Who, we saw Springsteen, we saw Police in a bar. Going to shows was what I loved.
Yeah, you have a high standard for musical acts.
I just love seeing guys on stage. I think it's the live music is the greatest experience. And here's this weekend festival, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
At the time, I think it was $8 to get in back in the late 80s.
$8.
They jumped to 15 in the mid 90s, helped cover costs.
Yeah. But that's still, it's a,
for
in
3
the 90s,
days,
it's something, but it's not so much money that it would stop you from going.
Right. And that's where you are today, buddy.
Did you see the amount of money that people are charging or having to pay to get into this thing now? Here's general admission tickets. General admission, which means the lowest you can pay to get into one of these things.
Right. There are upsell, too. You want to buy it special into bands you might want to see.
Yes. $155 is the low amount. General admission, $155.50.
That's for the 2 days, though, because now it's just a 2 day, not a 3 day.
2 day. If you want to get re-entry, so let's say you want to go in and then you want to leave and then you want to come back. That's what I just described re-entry. None of you needed that. I just felt like saying it. $175. So an extra $20. That's not bad. I mean, $155 is ridiculous.
If you pay $155 to get in and you want to go like put stuff in your car or go grab a nap and come back that night to see another act, it's another $20.
Yep.
You don't just get to stamp your hand and come back in.
Let's see here. If you want deluxe, let's say you're a person who just wants all the bells and whistles, $325. For what? That's my question. Well, what's on the lineup this year?
Well, then we get to the lineup.
Tell me about the lineup this year.
I'm nobody to ask. And here's the thing. I'm fully aware that this is not my father's Oldsmobile or whatever it is. What analogy works here.
Sure.
This music isn't for me. I'm not their target audience.
Who is their target audience?
I guess people who love these bands.
It's not. Yeah. Is there?
I get Death Cab.
Their headliner's Death Cab for Cutie, but that's for old people.
Well, you're sweet. You're so sweet to say that.
But it is.
They're local indie rock superstars. I've seen them 10 times at Bumbershoot.
Yeah.
As a
when
supporting
I was in high school,
one of the smaller
Death Cab
stages.
for Cutie was already a band that people were kind of like, they're neat, but they've been around a bit.
We're talking, Orville Peck.
I don't know who that is.
I've heard of De La Soul.
Here, let's hear a little Orville Peck.
You got a little Orville Peck?
I got all of it, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Laura and Mike pulled all this stuff. sitting there and I'm listening to Orville Peck
for $155.
Down on my ticket stub, it says general admission,
right?
$550. I'm like, I don't know.
And that's the thing. For $155, I'll go see. I mean, I'd pay that to go see Bonnie Raitt. You know, Jethro Tull, Steve Winwood, whomever, Sonic Youth, Lou Reed, Black Crowes, The Killers, bands I've seen at Bumbershoot.
Sure.
For $155.
Japanese breakfast.
Huh?
That's what's called
Is
Japanese.
that included with your ticket? I don't mind fish in the morning. Is that a band?
It's a band.
Again, this is not for me. I get that it's not for me.
You're saying it's not for you as if it's for someone else.
There must.
Who's it for?
There must be an audience for these bands.
This is Japanese breakfast. I love her.
I had a feeling. You love these guys?
I've seen her like 3 times in concert.
It's a her. It's not a band?
It's a band, but she fronts it.
Okay.
Her husband is in it too.
I'm sure. I don't mean to demean them. I'm sure they're fabulous.
No, go ahead.
Pay $155.
No. Again, I get it.
I saw her at Zoo Tunes last summer. I'm trying to think. That was probably like $50.
It's a lot of money. $155 is more than Disney.
Well, that's the thing.
More than Disney.
And to be fair to Bumbershoot,
you don't even get to see Olaf.
He's coming up.
Yeah.
He's going to be off the ticket today. All concerts these days are ridiculous. People pay $300, $400, $500 to go see just about anybody of note.
You want to go
these
see
days?
You want to go see Bruce and get good seats?
Oh, I know.
$5,000. You want to go see Taylor Swift? $20,000.
I know. I hear
People
you.
pay insane amounts of money for tickets these days.
Well, you know, Bob Dylan has played Bumbershoot over the years, right?
I went to the last time he was here. Was it 2011? I'm trying to remember.
At
when it was.
Bumbershoot?
At Bumbershoot.
Okay, yeah.
I went to see Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
I went because I got free tickets. It was through the station, and they give you free tickets for the kind of job that we have.
And it wasn't
worth it.
It wasn't your grandfather's
The free
Bob
ticket
Dylan.
was not worth the price.
Because he's a different Bob Dylan than you expect.
We watched, my wife and I, we were married at the time. We were newly married. We were watching Bob Dylan, and we went with another couple friend of ours, and we're all sitting there and we're watching. We're waiting because it's Bob Dylan. I want to be able to say in my lifetime, I saw Bob Dylan, right? And then he gets up on stage. I'm like, this is it? This is the guy that everybody talks about? And I actually felt bad. I wonder if there was a Silver Alert situation out there and that he got lost because I'm being dead serious.
I know you are.
What I was seeing on the stage did not look like somebody who fully understood where he was. And this is a long time ago. Is he still with us?
He's playing 2 shows at Chateau Saint Michel this summer. I'm telling you.
He's with us, God bless him.
He's playing 2 shows. That was my question. If Bob Dylan can come play Chateau Saint Michel,
sure.
Why can't you get Bob Dylan to be the headliner at Bumbershoot?
Well, he was.
Why can't? But
it was horrible.
But what you for you?
It was very bad.
He's going to sell 2.
Everyone unanimously. Everyone I talked to, and I said, "What did you think of that? You're huge. You got a shirt on with his face," and they went, "That's horrible."
Yeah. It's not for everybody.
I mean, this is just my opinion.
I mean, that's the wrong example, but I mean, give me for $155. Give me some names I'm proud to see.
Yeah.
Give me some folks I want to go see.
A lot of money.
Heart's still alive. They're in town. Heart's not playing.
You know what?
Get Alice in Chains. Get Soundgarden to come back
I'd
and
give
play.
Bob Dylan another chance.
Would you?
I'd go see him again.
Would you pay $155?
No, well, no. But if the ticket were free, if Chateau Saint Michel wanted us to come and watch and make a judgment,
sure.
And we got a little Sauv Blanc on the way.
Here you go.
I might watch it.
You know, I would go see these bands at Bumbershoot. But
for what price, though? A real price, not just a fake one.
If they offered that, I really don't care about these bands' ticket at $20, I'd go.
Sure.
It would probably do me good to see Japanese breakfast cereal or
Japanese
whatever.
breakfast.
Sure.
Yeah.
Probably do me a world of good to expand my musical horizons.
Sure.
And see some of these bands I have no interest or have never heard of.
I'll make you a playlist, Spike.
I bet there's some quality music happening. But for $155 to take a chance?
$150 is a lot. That's a big ask.
In this economy?
Yeah, it's a big ask. All right, well, it's coming up. So if you guys are interested.
We had Mike pull 28 songs. We played 2 of them. I love you, buddy. Welcome to Laura's world.
It's called hazing, Spike. You have to let me do it.
All right, we got a lot more coming up.
Did you pull the George Clinton IS4? Do you have the Sheryl Crow? What
do we got coming up next? We got some good stuff.
We'll be right back with more of the best of the Jake and Spike Show, KIRO News Radio.
Honoring the ones who made the ultimate sacrifice this Memorial Day. While celebrating with friends and loved ones, take a few moments to remember and reflect that we remain the home of the free because of the brave. Reverently celebrating Memorial Day with you. We are KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
There are 6 markets you can place your money in. Research suggests it's better to have exposure to all 6 markets. Don't miss a potential opportunity because you didn't strategically diversify your assets. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Request your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing in your portfolio. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
We learn valuable life lessons from our loved ones. Lessons that protect our home and keep us safe. Like avoiding pests, such as cockroaches, that can be attracted to leaking pipes. Or mice that are drawn to left-out food. And standing water around your home can be a breeding ground for mosquitoes. Stopping pests that can spread disease is a valuable life lesson to pass down from one generation to the next. Learn how you can have a healthy, pest-free home. Visit pestworld.org. A public service message from the National Pest Management Association.
How does your roof look after this winter? Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Spring into action today. Save $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Under these arches, opposing teams are put to the test. Can they hear themselves over the boom of the 12s? Can they withstand the Seattle elements? Can they compete against us? Touchdown, Seahawks! This city lives for Sunday. Get your tickets for Seahawks game days at Lumen Field and experience what this city lives for. Visit Seahawks.com today.
Hey, when was the last time you inspected your crawl space or your attic? What's the last time you went in there just to see what kind of shape they're in? Oh, never? Yeah, same. I don't want to go in there. Most homeowners completely avoid those areas, but it is important to check on them regularly. It's why you call Crawl Pros. They'll come out and go where you don't want to. Hey, it's Mike Salk here. And yes, when Crawl Pros came out to my place, they realized we had a little problem with our insulation. So they've set about fixing it and they did a great job. But if you've got the same problem, they'll also look to see what kind of energy rebates are available. Right now, local utility companies are incentivizing homeowners to make their home more energy efficient with proper insulation. And some homes qualify for several $1,000s in savings with these utility rebate programs. So don't just assume your crawl space and attic are in great condition. Do what I did. Call Crawl Pros today and schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection and find out if you've got water intrusion, mold, rodent issues, or even damaged insulation. Schedule your crawl space and attic inspection at crawlpros.com.
Some kids never smile. They're embarrassed by their crooked teeth. They want braces like the other kids, but their families can't afford them. Some may even try to straighten their teeth themselves. That can make everything worse. Luckily, there's Donated Orthodontic Services, a program from the American Association of Orthodontists. It helps provide orthodontic treatment to kids and teens whose families can't afford it. For kids who apply, are approved, and are matched with a volunteer orthodontist, it can be life-changing. Their treatment is in the hands of an expert, a licensed local orthodontic specialist who improves their smiles by correctly aligning teeth and jaws. Some kids think they'll never smile again, but Donated Orthodontic Services may help them smile with confidence. To link to the application and eligibility requirements, visit aaoinfo.org.
I was walking my dog, I fell and ended up with 3 tears in my meniscus. I was sent to a surgeon and they said the only way to get this fixed is to have surgery. That just wasn't an option. I didn't want to jump into surgery without trying anything else.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. We offer Jamie an alternative to the downtime and potential risks associated with invasive knee surgery. At Sound Pain Solutions, we help patients like Jamie avoid the side effects of painkillers, cortisone injections, and pain following surgery. Our comprehensive approach includes treatments like pressure wave, PRP, and advanced laser. These treatments reduce pain and restore mobility naturally. Now Jamie is able to do everything she enjoys without pain.
I'm grateful for being able to wake up every day and not be in pain. To be able to go about my day has been amazing.
Schedule a free consultation to learn if you qualify for our non-surgical and drug-free joint treatments at soundpainsolutions.com.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Call or click 811 before you dig. Anything that causes you to roll up your sleeves a little and dig in requires you to first connect with 811. Call or click 811 and visit safeexcavator.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Shelley Flace with today's tip for kids from the American Academy of Pediatrics. Kids are full of energy, but keeping them active in their teen years can be a challenge. Aim for an hour of physical activity every day. If they like sports, that's a great place to start. Keep the focus on fun, not winning, and encourage your child to do a variety of activities. If your child isn't meeting that 60-minute goal, gradually increase their activity in ways they enjoy. For more, talk with your pediatrician or visit healthychildren.org.
Epic parties start at Staples. Now you can grab Party City balloons, decorations, and tableware, plus matching custom invites, banners, and more right at Staples. That was easy.
I started Davis Law Group in 1994 to fight for the underdog. And as our team has grown, we've stayed true to that mission. Today, Davis Law Group is known for providing excellent service and even better results. Visit WashingtonAccidentBooks.com to get your free book on car accident law.
All right, welcome back to the show. Great news for heavyset folks. Amazon is getting into the weight loss game. Did you see this story, Spike?
Saw this story.
Amazon, GLP-1s, they call them.
That's your Ozempic and those
your Wegovy's.
Okay,
that's your Wegovy's. That's your Ozempic. That's your
Amazempic. Have they trademarked that yet?
What'd you call it?
Amazempic.
That's perfect.
We should trademark that. And sell it back.
And sell it to them.
Yeah.
Quick, download that. Get them. Where do people get websites these days?
It's still GoDaddy. You know what? It's not GoDaddy.
It's not GoDaddy?
Don't get me started on that because I bought what I thought was a website domain on GoDaddy.
Is this the one I thought? This is the one I'm thinking of?
No, I don't think so.
Is it recently?
Yeah.
Is it related to baseball?
It was.
Okay, then what?
The M's TV.
What
right?
Tell people this story. This is because I don't even know this yet.
I was so mad.
I don't even know this yet, but now I'm excited because I can tell where it's going.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking it's going to be funny. So,
I get this brainstorm one morning, right at the start of baseball season. The Mariners announcing this channel, Mariners TV. I said, M's TV. How's nobody got M's TV?
And you even said, I even remember you saying it. You did the little MTV thing.
Right. I want my M's TV.
Yes.
And so I went on what I thought used to be the gold standard for buying a website, which was GoDaddy.com. Okay. And I put in a bid and it's accepted for mstv.com. And I get an email back from a broker. And what I've done is I've bought the right to have GoDaddy negotiate on my behalf.
Shut it.
With the owner of mstv.com.
Which is already owned.
Already owned.
Okay. That's ridiculous.
I'm not buying it from somebody who's squatting on it. I am now paying GoDaddy a fee to negotiate with the guy.
Is that real?
Yes.
That to me is like a surveillance pricing thing.
I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I complain. It's like, this is complete bait and switch.
We have so much mob stuff we could be doing today. That's a mob tactic.
It's a mob tactic. It'd be a shame. Yeah, it'd be a shame if you had a website with some happened to it. I couldn't believe it.
That's exactly, you're interested. That's why you're buying it. You think you're buying it. So can I ask how much you paid for the right to negotiate to pay?
$99.
You paid $100?
Well, I thought I was buying mstv.com. I thought that's not unreasonable.
Because you bought it right at the start of the show.
Right.
We heard it in a news break, and you went, oh, man, I got a great idea.
mstv.com.
Typed it in.
It's mine. I'm going to contact the Mariner Network and see if they want to buy MTV.
If they want to partner on this.
They want to partner on this.
Bingo, bango, bongo.
Right? Dude, that's what I do.
Be ashamed something happened to your website.
Nice little website you got there, yeah. But I bought the right.
Because it is a better name, MTV.
I bought the right to negotiate, for them to negotiate on my behalf. I thought that's what you did. I thought that's what GoDaddy.com is.
Isn't that what this is? I'm typing into you. That's the negotiation. Then you give me a price and I'm paying it.
A lawyer pays. You pay a lawyer a retainer for the right to negotiate a price with a lawyer. What the hell?
Actually, is kind of what a lawyer does. Yeah.
I don't understand business.
That is what a lawyer does. You do pay a retainer to a lawyer who then charges you hourly.
Yeah,
yes.
but you're not paying. The first hour is negotiating his price. I'm paying you to negotiate with you.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
I felt so violated.
You should feel violated because it's a good idea, and you should.
To be completely transparent, I've complained, and they refunded my $99.
Good.
So I don't want to.
So it's available? Hold on a second.
Hey, I can buy it now for $35. I just bought it for $35.
No, thanks.
Some other guy dropped out.
What are we talking? We're talking about fat
We're
drugs.
talking about fat drugs.
Fat drugs.
Yeah,
Amazon. What are they doing? Amazon has you can just subscribe now to Amazon, and they'll just like.
Well, that's what
make
Amazon,
you skinny.
That's what Amazon does. They buy up the company and take out the middleman.
Amazon's
right?
amazing.
Because when I talked about a year ago when my kid's wedding anniversary is coming up this week. 1 year ago.
Congrats.
And the missus and I.
This week?
This week. A
Congrats.
year ago this week.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they're no longer newlyweds after this week. We got on the sauce to lose weight before the wedding.
Most people stop drinking. Just kidding.
Yeah, I met my son-in-law. I can't. I love the guy.
I have met your son-in-law.
I love the guy. He's a
at a
great
brewery.
guy. See? What'd I tell you? We're out of time.
Anyway, continue.
Amazon, that's what they do. They buy up companies and they take out the middleman. So now Amazon, which already does Amazon prescriptions, you can already get prescriptions through Amazon. They now can offer you these weight loss drugs through Amazon. And there's a telemed where you speak to, I guess, an Amazon doctor.
Is it even a real doctor or is it just an AI guy? It's probably got to be real.
Oh, that's a great question.
Could be an AI. You'd never know the difference.
Could be. You might get better advice, too.
What does that look like, too? You stand up with a doctor, he just looks at you, and he goes, turn around. He goes, you're fat.
If it's anything like we went through, you take a photo of yourself.
Really?
You give your medical history.
Shirt on, shirt off.
Shirt off.
Really?
Yeah. They want to know what they're dealing with.
Are you sure it was a weight loss drug online company site?
It was in Bogota, Colombia.
He does not have a good track record with online things.
I'm telling you.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses, plus free delivery when you add a base. Ends Monday. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Thanks. Is oil marked down?
Save up to $15 when you buy 5 quarts and a filter.
And fuel treatment?
2 for $9 on Lucas.
Brake pads?
Marked down to free.
Free?
Get free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 Duralast rotors.
That's several markdowns.
For many more miles.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
A shot to center field. Julio is there, and Julio makes the catch!
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house, even when there's not an actual seat, because you're in the T-Mobile pen.
They're going crazy here at T-Mobile Park.
The pen isn't just the perfect space to hang with your whole crew. It's where you can see Julio defend the no-fly zone 1 minute and watch Senor Smoke get ready for his big entrance the next.
Andres Munoz has simply been incredible.
Sure, the pen is standing room only, but with a team this exciting, who wants to be sitting down? Mariners baseball. Try this up.
90s weekend is on deck at T-Mobile Park. The fun gets started this Friday with an epic 90s themed fireworks night presented by T-Mobile. Then it's back-to-back giveaways. Julio Rodriguez sleeveless jersey Saturday and Ken Griffey Jr. pin Sunday. Both presented by Key Bank. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
Around here, we see a lot of people head out. No matter where they're going, we just help make sure they're ready. Before you hit the road, get a pre-trip safety check from Les Schwab Tires. It's free. Plus, this May, save up to $200 on select sets of 4 tires, including all-terrain, highway, all-season, and all-weather. So go ahead. Explore with confidence. Les Schwab Tires. We're here to help you take the long way. Limited time offer while supplies last. See leschwab.com/sale for details.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
The Harnish Auto Family Super Sale is on now. Don't miss out on 0 down, no payments all summer, and exclusive deals through May 31st. Visit them in Puyallup and Everett. Harnish Auto Family. People matter.
Offers available OAC on select models. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Join the conversation and text your favorite show on the KIRO Newsradio